And here we go. So welcome everybody to another session. So Rational Mind, good to have you back here. The last session we did, it went down quite well with the audience. So it looks as though now this is a conversation people are willing to listen to. So how did the first session go for you? That this closed off session just with a select panelist.
You mean myself? How did it go well? Is that what you're asking?
No. How did the last session go for you? I'm not sure if you've had the chance to watch it back. I've shown you some of the
Yeah,
feedback.
I'm so sorry. I've not been able to because I have a lot of things vying for my attention here. It's only when I have this little time I just say, look, let me come share it with you, spend it with you. Really, I have other things that I do that. As I'm talking to you right now, like they will say here, I'm multitasking here, speaking to you, trying to do food, trying to do this one, trying to chat people up and
Back to the
write my
bachelor
WhatsApp.
lifestyle, Abi. You're cooking for yourself still.
No, I mean my wife cannot cook my food. That's what I've said it many times. Yeah, she
Oh
cannot
yeah,
cook my
you
kind of
did.
food. Yeah, so I like to eat my Nigerian food very well. I'm trying to abstain from
Has
the
your taste buds not changed for all of the time you've lived in America? Have you not
my what?
your taste buds?
Um, it has. I won't say it has not. It has.
You're not into your pasta and whatnot. Whatever it is we eat in
You
America,
know
there.
the food here is it's kind of bland for
It's
the
too
most part.
over processed, isn't it?
No, well, I don't eat processed food, but I'm saying even the fresh one. Even when you eat lettuce, you eat cabbage, you eat um, any of those things that you when you buy in Nigeria, when you eat it, it tastes. I mean, let me give you an example. A few months ago, when I was in Europe, I was in Frankfurt. So the area where I was in Frankfurt, I mean, like here in America, whereby before you walk about how many miles, you see stores here and there, stores. Well, don't get me wrong, they have stores, but they have these tiny little shops that is being run by Eritreans, Ethiopians, Turkish people, like where you can go and buy smoke. You can buy. They have that in all over Frankfurt and even in Prague. But then when you talk about major like our own say McDonald's, Walmart, Bimart, and maybe Safeway or Kroger and all of that here, those big stores. As far as what I saw in Germany and in Frankfurt, the only one I've seen, they have one big store. It's like the whole city goes to that place to go and shop. So, I mean, I went in there. I mean, it took me a while to be able to find a big shopping mall like that. And I found that I was like the whole people were even queuing to get inside. I was like, whoa. So when I got inside, I totally forgot I was not in I was not I was not I, was, I, mean, I was not in America. And I picked up one pastry because I know I love German pastries, their cheese and all of that. I love it. So I picked it up. I was like, before I knew, I was just looking at it, reading the label. That's what we do here in America. When you're buying stuff, a lot of us will read the label just to see if it's organic. you know, that's what we go by here. We have organic, and then we have GMOs and things like that. So I was trying to just look at it. There was this couple behind me, and they were just like looking at me, and it was like, "What are you doing?" like, they could tell that, and I'm an American, kind of like they could tell that I don't look German or European. So they were like, "Okay, what are you doing?" I was like, and I look back, I was like, seeing they were just laughing at me, like giggling and like. So I said, "Well, I'm looking if it's GMO." You're just laughing at me. I said, "No, we don't have GMOs here in Europe." Oh, I said, "Oh, yeah, you're right." They were just laughing at me, like they do not have. And woman, when I tasted this pastry, the quality of the wheat or the the food. Oh my goodness, it tastes different from what I'm used to here. Well, because they have
Different does not necessarily mean better. Did it taste better than what you're used to?
no our food here. A lot of them. That's why some states require you to label your food if it's organic. That is, you see, they'll tell you. So when you're even buying um, eggs, they'll tell you organic, AA1, AA5, whatever they call it. These are labeling. They'll say grass fed. Even when you're buying milk, they say grass fed milk. They tell you non anti. They did not use antibiotic. No whatever hormone. They tell you all of that crap. So they have different label for different food that they sell at the store here. So that tells you that A lot of them, for the fact that they require them, some states here require them that you have to label your food, whatever you're selling, if it's organic, meaning it was just the poultry or whatever it is, or the lettuce or whatever, the vegetable were all grown organically, non-GMO or whatever. So, my wife has made me always be aware of, you need to make sure of what. So what I'm telling all these stories is just because I'm always, I've seen people here coming down with all kinds of cancer, all kinds of what do you call it, stomach kind of irritation and kind of I mean, I can't even think straight right now. So some kind of illness with their digestive system, very, very bad. And it goes down to the quality of food that they eat here. So that's why I would say my taste bud has been a little bit, tweaked so that when I taste something different from what I'm used to here, I just like, oh, this is different. Like the pastry I was telling you about, the pastry I tasted in Germany and in other parts of Europe. It just tastes different from that of what I'm used to in America here. So yeah, my taste buds to some extent it has changed. And anytime I go to Nigeria, I eat swallow. Oh my goodness, just the meat I eat in Nigeria. I want you showing those Ishon, I want you showing Baba Lukman, those Mama Lukman, those roadside. When you eat it like this, and the taste of the ewedu, and what you eat tuwo shinkafi, shikafa, I mean tuwo shinkafi. When you use that begiri, that begiri, I mean that those
all right.
beans kind of stew. I mean soup. It tastes different. That's just what I'm trying to say to you. It tastes different. Yeah. So my taste bud has really changed. Yeah.
All right, all right, Rationamite. Let's get to the politics of it. Let's kick it off with this. I think you may have come across this already because I think this actually came out of that book launch, Femi Adesina one. So this is Buhari reminiscing about his tenure. Why I did not sack Emefiele, former President Buhari explained. So what explanation did he give? Former President Buhari has said he did not sack the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, when there were speculations about Emefiele's presidential ambition, emphasizing that Emefiele never discussed it with him. This was made known in a memoir titled Working with Buhari, Reflections of a Special Advisor, Media and Publicity, written by former Special Advisor to President Buhari on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, and presented in Abuja on Tuesday, January the 16th. The book also put up the former president's defense of his administration's Naira redesign policy, implemented by the then Emefiele, saying it helped the country achieve a clean general election in 2023. According to the memoir, the former president maintained that those who had a problem with the policy were individuals who had too much money. So this is just these are quotations from it now. It says, in the book's chapter 12, the former president said, the scarcity of the money was not done. The scarcity of the money was not done deliberately to punish Nigerians. Democracy allows people to express their will, and we did not attempt to control them. People understood the implication of their choices, and we did not force them. My state, Katsina, showed the beauty of the whole system. In the presidential poll, APC lost, but when they came back to win in the governorship, maybe they took things for granted earlier because it was my state and they thought they would win easily. People do not like being taken for granted. I met Emefiele in office when I came, and unless there was firm evidence against him, it would be unfair and an act of injustice to remove him, acting on hearsay. If you punish a man unjustly, it could dog his footsteps throughout his life. So, if you would punish, you must have evidence. You should know that yourself. Let me take that again. If you punish a man unjustly, it will dog his. It could dog his footsteps throughout life. So, if you would punish, you must have evidence, and you should know that yourself wouldn't be there forever. You would leave one day. I am very conscious about the morale of people who serve me. I also expected whoever succeeds me to be fair to me. I have a family, friends. I have a family, I have friends who will feel it. I am conscious of fairness. When he was linked with the campaign for 2023 presidency, I did not ask him because he told nobody he was getting involved. Otherwise, I would have removed him and told the nation why. There is no denying that the Naira redesign policy gave us a cleaner election. It was people who had too much money that had problems with it. When it was said that the new note was not available, over 260 million naira was found in one bank chairman, with one bank chairman. Did I take on the Supreme Court on the issue? No, I could not have. So also those are the excuses that he's giving for not sacking Emefiele. Essentially, he said he met him in office and it would have been unfair for him to sack him. So that's the one reason. And he said Emefiele did not come to tell him directly that he was contesting for the 2023 elections. And had he done that, then he would have had grounds to sack him. Are you satisfied with the excuses coming from your man from Daura?
You see, woman, I think the last time we talked about that book launching and all of that crap that they did, I've made my own opinion known on that. That these guys are just trying to like launder this idiot from Daura. They just want to launder his image. They know the crap he has done, how abysmally he has performed, and you know even his successor from the same party like himself. You know how they were crying for several months of how Buhari destroyed that country. I mean, the NSA was one of those such people. Even Buhari, I mean, even Tinubu himself alluded to that in some of his comments in the past, how they met virtually an empty treasury, how they heavily indebted that country. So what are they trying to do now? Just trying to like just trying to launder his image.
Sorry, Rational Mind. We have Bishop joining us, so let me bring him in. Bishop, good to have you. I have Rational Mind here with me. The conversation really, I'm not quite sure if you've seen this space. Why I did not sack Emefiele, President Buhari explains. So he's giving the reasons that he found Emefiele in office and he had no reasons to sack him. And he said he was also not aware that Emefiele, that he was aware, but Emefiele did not actually come to him to say that he was running for the 2023 elections. So had he done that, then he would have sacked him. So those were the two key reasons why he said he did not sack Emefiele. But a Rational Mind was giving us his perspective. So let him finish his submission and then we hear from you. Good to see you, Bishop.
Yeah, thank you. Rational Mind, how are you doing?
Lafiani. All right. So, well, for me, like as I was saying, I just think they're just trying to launder this guy's image. For me, it's we've seen. I mean, his party has criticized him. They've told us. I mean, the point is, who is even writing this history? No, you should not be writing your own history. I mean, well, I mean, you should write your history, but in this matter we're talking about, it is people that will assess you, not you assessing yourself. Not even people who are your inner circle will be assessing you. The idiots in the person of Femi Opono Adesina, like somebody will call him sometimes. I mean, we know who he is. He was part of the inner circle of the man from the idiot from Daura. We know what they did. We know how this idiot Femi Opono Adesina, how he comes on live on speak condescendingly on Nigerians. I mean, telling us that we must be having some kind of amnesia. I mean, we see some of his interviews with most times when he talks, and then the way he talks, especially during the COVID time, rather, when we had COVID, and how he speaks condescendingly on Nigerians. You know, so are we surprised when somebody is doing a revisionist kind of assessment of who this guy. Well, history has it. I mean, the internet is filled up with. I mean, is full with so many of the crap that went during this guy's era. Is it the several killings that his clansmen were doing that he never was? He had this nonchalant attitude to us. What are we talking about? So, one man, for me, I just I make nothing of this this report. You know, it's just a damage control they're trying to do now. Trying to do a damage control. Trying to like portray him, rewrite some
There's a
kind of
real
history.
move to try and rebrand the
Yeah.
yes. We're
It's just
seeing it
that's what I
aggressively. They're doing it now to try and rebrand what we experienced under Buhari.
So but then you see, and Nigerians are these kind of people that they have this amnesia of some sort, whereby they just forget history and then they start singing praise of criminals, that people that should be normally in a saner society. They should be given an account of his stewardship in jail, in front of a judge, for most of the and look at what this guy is going through now, Trump. Some of the things he did is facing the music now in front of a judge. He's being questioned for that. So what are we talking about? Because Nigeria is a place whereby the country is made for only these elites. They are kind of lord of their own, and Nigerians are just kind of like their fiefdom, whereby they just lord it over everybody. Everybody, they shove it down our throats over there in Nigeria, and Nigerians just accept it, that this is a life they've been condemned to. So I mean, woman, you see, this for me, just sometimes when you bring up two topics like this, there are certain topics I don't even want to entertain. For me, it's just I don't see this. I won't dignify with any comments, because I believe it's just a way of the way they've been doing to us in that country, kind of like.
Do you think Buhari was involved in a conspiracy with Emefiele? Because that guy did so many atrocious stuff. Just sufficient enough for him to sack him 1,000,000 times over, and it looked the other way. So it has to be a matter of extreme gross incompetence, the level of which we've never experienced before, or Buhari was complicit in a lot of the atrocious stuff that this guy did.
Yeah, woman. You see, like I said, it's that we Nigerians are this kind of people that easily forget history. And I don't know why it's like that. I think the reason is because, you see, look at it. Just some few days ago, I think like about 2 days ago, when we had this kind of session like this, within that span of that 24 hours or 48 hours or so that we were here together, you know how many events that has happened, have occurred in that country? At every there's this the information, the speed at which information keeps coming out from that country is just alarming. That before you want to process one, another one is on its way, another one is on its way, another one is that. How many are you going to process? In the process of that, in the attempt of trying to make sense of what you were just trying to think about, another one is coming, another one is coming. You see, I think that country is programmed. Nigerians are programmed like they are just like guinea pigs, or guinea pig rather, or they are pigs. Like guinea pigs, in the sense that you're being used for an experiment, whereby they just keep throwing out information, trying to create some kind of narrative whereby before you're trying to process one thing, another one is coming, and then you can't even make sense of anything. And then before you are forgetting already the one you're already pondering over, you've been thinking about, another one is. So you see, woman, I think it's by design that this country is just doing this. And like I've said it, we're not going anywhere. Even though if you bring Shore, let him come out. Except maybe I don't know how he's going to do it, but with this same kind of setup that we have in our country, forget it. He would never. Nobody will make anything. So for me, as long as we have these criminals around, controlling and calling the shots in that country, look at what these idiots are trying to do. Even the one that he's talking about, he wrote the book about, he's trying to like launder his own image. He's trying to like make her look like, oh, it wasn't my fault. It was this. You were not there. From my own perspective, come on. But the one thing I'm grateful is that internet never forgets. Some of the things that played out generation after us today, if YouTube still exists, and some other media platforms still exist, some of those videos of things that were done at a certain time of these people when they were alive during their stewardship, all is there online. People can go and read it. What you are now is, this is my voice, maybe in about 100 years from now, if I'm gone. And then people will hear this voice, they hear your voice, they will know. I'm sure this coming generation will be able to like make sense of events and pick here, and be able to like draw an inference from there, and know what actually happened. But then we know. I mean, woman, for me, if you have other topic and you want to go to our friend here,
Yes, I have other topics, but let's bring Bishop in. So, Bishop, what's your take, just off the back of the headline? What's your take of what Buhari has to say?
Okay. Good evening once again, guys. Maybe I will not be as generalizing as rational mind is. I will want to look at it from truthfully. Unfortunately, my truth might not be your truth or other people's truth. We are a very peculiar people. We are unique, but very complex as Nigerians. On Emefiele, I documented my thoughts. Buhari dropped the ball bigly. And I've said it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Even in the heat of it, I felt very disappointed. I felt disappointed immediately after he came and Emefiele was bringing some policy that was at variance with the policy of the federal government. He was implementing some things independently and it was hurting the economy, and Buhari still retained him. It was a failure of leadership. Even when he had a confrontation with the minister.
Sorry, Bishop, would you say it's a failure of leadership, or would you suggest that Buhari was complicit in Emefiele's wrongdoings?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a failure of leadership. I don't think Buhari was so. You see, Buhari tried to be liberal, to show some form of liberality. Okay, let people, they know what they are doing, and let them carry out their functions without him interfering, breathing down their necks. Try to be liberal. The kind of thing Yorubas are doing in Nigeria, trying to want to be seen to be correct, to be correct, and people are beginning to infringe on your space, and they are rubbing it on your face, and it's becoming very offensive. So Buhari failed. I'm using that word now emphatically, and I said it then. And I was much more disappointed when Buhari gave Emefiele a second term. I would say Buhari was not complicit in some of the things Emefiele did. I don't know how he convinced himself that Emefiele was fit for purpose. To have allowed him to complete his first term was bad enough. But to have nominated him for his second term as the CBN governor, when everything was pointing to the fact that this man was working at cross purposes, it was a big failure. A big failure. Now, I know Buhari, after his ailment, was never the same. And the criticism that he is a dictator, is a tyrant, is a this, is a that, were so loud there that he was trying to be very careful. And that contributed to his failure. I remember on 1 or 2 occasions, even the vice president called out Emefiele's CBN as working at cross purposes with government, modeling up monetary policy with fiscal policy, things that does not even concern you, intervening in all those interventions, whatever. So if Osinbajo could call him out publicly, what was Osinbajo telling Buhari in private about Emefiele? Was it that he told him and he still stuck to his guns? So whatever the failure of Emefiele, I put them squarely at the doorstep of Buhari. And I have said it before, my documentary then, when the heat was on. On this Emefiele issue, Buhari dropped the ball very badly. Because Emefiele shouldn't have spent 1 day after his first term. That was an unpardonable sin from Buhari himself. Now, somebody want to say something?
No, carry on.
Now, will I write off Buhari completely, every other thing he did as a failure? I don't think I want to share that view. I don't think I will share that view. I have sat down in my private moments and look at the complexities of Nigerian nation, the Nigeria's nation state. And I remember one day we were talking here, and the good thing was that it was Rational Mind that was talking about corruption and corrupt tendencies of an average Nigerian. And it was only short of saying that 100% Nigerians are criminals. That the only thing they have not had is the opportunity to steal. I mean, I'm quoting him now, if you remember very well. We had that debate. I said it's not. We cannot say all Nigerians. I think it is just a minority that are very devilish and are evil. Yeah, people do unthinkable things when they are given the opportunity, when they have the chance. You know, when it comes to appropriating things that belongs to everybody for themselves, we do it. And despite the fact that we are that gullible and corrupt, we still know how to make the loudest noise. We shout. We have idea about everything. And a couple of months ago, I was trying to look. Is there a way out for Nigeria if we don't change our mindset, our orientation? If it remains the same, are we ever going to have a leader that is acceptable? If any policy does not seem to benefit me immediately, now, chances are that 90% of Nigerians will want to discard that policy, throw it away, forget it, and bring the one that will benefit me now. Not necessarily the one that will benefit the coming generation. And I have that fear. And we have brought it into politics that in the future, hardly are we going to have any president, any leader that is going to be acceptable. Look, we've had our issues before, but it became worse in 2015 against Buhari. When Buhari lost and Jonathan conceded and Jonathan moved on, South, that Jonathan came from moved on. But my brothers from the Southeast did not move on. I lived there. I saw what happened. Radio, calling programs, television, every discussion, how Buhari is this, how Buhari Islamization, how they want to kill every Nigerian, how his kinsmen were killing people. Rational Mind referenced that now. I tell people there are criminals among every tribe. The fact that we single out Fulanis to be the one that were perpetrating all the evil in Nigeria, kind of stereotyped them, was a terrible mistake. And it's not going to heal anytime soon. And that is why now it is the Yoruba man's turn. You can criticize him. He has won an election where it might not be the best of elections, but he won. But some people have made it a duty to scandalize and criminalize and, disparage, call him his tribe, his religion, his everything. We will continue, we will endure it for another 8 years. Is an Igbo man going to be president one day? Maybe. Is he going to have an easy ride? I don't think so. Because everything we are doing is sowing seed time. When the harvest time will come, it will come in multiples. It will come. So back to the effect of what Emefiele did. If you remember, immediately after the election, we had a session one day. I remember where I was, and I said, my consolation is that Buhari is the price we have to pay to have a Tinubu presidency. He's having it rough, but I like one thing. I don't think he is afraid of making very bold, painful, but necessary decisions when he needs to make them. If we can endure and we begin to see the fruits of this decision, of this painful decision, maybe some people will have a change of mind. I told somebody just yesterday night, I was conversing with someone. I'm actually from Missouri. I was there for the cold or something. And I told someone, I said, look, the truth of the matter is this. Are there quick fixes that will turn Nigeria to El Dorado? Where I was actually El Dorado. I was in El Dorado in Kansas. So I was using the place. Is there a quick fix? Are there quick fixes? Solution to all of our problems that Nigeria will become an El Dorado in 4 years. If you want to be very sincere with ourselves, there are none. There is nothing anybody can do especially the ones that are afraid to take decisions that we turn that we know those decisions are going to bring pain, serious pain. If we shy away from those decisions, I mean, like I used to Ajale Koko, I try to put myself in his mind sometimes. That do you think that we can make things happen for everybody? That everybody will be happy? Kumbaya, I'm singing Kumbaya, Kumbaya for the government. Maybe we could have done that 50 years ago. Even though we know that there was poverty that 50 years ago in Nigeria. 40 years ago, there was poverty. Has there ever been a time that there was no poverty in Nigeria? No. And we keep living with that mentality, that entitlement mentality, that government must produce everything for us, including healthcare, including education, including affordable housing, including food, including transport, including electricity. There is nowhere people pay for these things. There is one saying they used to say, my friend of blessed memory, I only pray that Tinubu will have the courage and the thick skin that despite everything they are saying, don't let him lose focus. Buhari lost focus. I used to attribute his illness, his sickness, to the reason why he really slowed down. Well, hey, I expected him to have quit immediately after the second election in 2019. While he was a shadow of himself, he was focused in making statements in certain areas, build infrastructure, revamp our agriculture so that we get food security. That look, he was really focused on that agriculture. But look, if one finger is ailing badly, no matter how beautiful you manicure the other fingers, it's nonsense. So eventually, the failure in those areas made rubbish of all his good efforts. Who is talking about Second Niger Bridge now? Who is talking about Lagos Ibadan Expressway? Who is talking about railway line? Everybody is pointing to the fact that, oh, he failed. Oh, people were stealing money. Oh, of course, people will always steal money. But I will cut him a slack that Buhari was not complicit in the haste. But the buck still stops at his desk as the man in charge. For me, he failed in several areas, but not in all areas. Thank you.
All right, brilliant, excellent. So, gentlemen, I want to try and keep it under 1 hour, but it doesn't look likely now because there are 2 more topics I'd like you to speak to. So we manage the time a bit tightly. But before we go to the next one is going to be a clip of Wole Soyinka speaking to the space. I've not seen the clip, but so we'll be watching it in real time together, and then Bishop can lead on the response, and then you pick it up, Rational Mind. But before we go to that Soyinka clip, the incidents that happened in Ibadan, just give us individually your take on that space. They're saying it was a gas explosion. They were saying it was a mining explosive that went awry. Some people speculating to acts of terror. So what's your concept of that space? a little soups on there, Bishop, and then you Rational Mind.
Okay. Do you want me to respond to that, or you want to play the clip?
No. The clip is different from that. I'm just bringing
Okay.
that in because
Okay.
it's the number one
Okay.
item
I
in
mean,
the news. Yeah.
I can deal with that in 2 minutes. I just finished speaking with my brother. I spoke with several persons. One of my uncle's house is there. Otitagba. What happened was that there was a fire incident in one small boys' quarters, and there were people that were keeping dynamite, explosive they were using for mining in that place, and that was exactly what happened. It was not a bomb blast; it was a dynamite. It was not an act of terror; it was an accident, but it's still as bad as it could be. So I spoke with someone that was with the governor yesterday.
What are you making of people mocking the incident online? Because there was
Well,
yeah.
that's a different topic entirely. I mean, I'll try and put everything under 3 minutes in my response. So give and I mean, so number one, it was an accident, very careless. People there know they were storing some of those things there. A lot of people are aware. It's not like a big secret. So nobody called the authorities. So it was an accident that happened. Negligence here and there, and people were complicit, and unfortunately we are where we are now. So we just try and see how they can clean it up. There are people in the hospital, people are displaced, people livelihoods have been destroyed, and unfortunately, my commiserations to all people that are affected, the people that are going through surgery and what have you. So that's that. About the people that are making a mockery of what has happened, that is how deep we have sunk humanity. That's how bad things had gotten, and that's why I say, can there be a reverse? Can we pull the cheese not out of the fire? I don't think so anymore. I think we have crossed the Rubicon. How do they call it now? We have crossed the Rubicon. People have done their worst. Others are waiting for the opportunity to pay back. National man will not agree with me. I put this largely at the doorstep of Peter Obi and his kingsmen. There are several conversations that went on. Look, once again, national man might not agree with me. Yorubas are very extremely accommodating. We are very accommodating. And even sometimes, there is a saying that used to say that a prude is one that blushes modesty even at the indelicacy of his or her thought. When things don't go well with us, we still want to manage. Come out of the let me just accommodate this man. She be just for a few days more. Let me just accommodate him. Yoruba does that a lot. My friends and brothers from this artist don't do it. They don't. They will not accommodate a tenth of what we have accommodated in the Southwest. Unfortunately, this last election, the utterances, the pronouncements, the provocations have thrown up a whole lot of things that people that ordinarily are very liberal are taking a second look. Really? So the enemy all the while. Oh, is that so? And that is why I say things may never, don't let me say will never, things may never be the same again. And that's why I used that popular phrase that Rubicon had been crossed. People that are celebrating the tragedy, so be it. Tendo de la now. Tendo bolola. Let them savour it, let them enjoy it while it lasts. All I know is that whether it is good or bad, nothing lasts forever. What goes around definitely has a way of coming around. Thank you, sir.
All right, brilliant. Rational Mind, just quickly to that space, and then I'll play the clip.
Well, you know, this topic you just brought is not a quick one for me, because um, Bishop already said certain things that I want to debunk. I want to contradict him on that. Um, yeah, you see, I don't even know where to start from this topic. But what I want to say is, Sheikh Makinde coming out and saying it's a dynamite. I don't know if have you guys seen the picture online, the Google Earth picture of that crater, like a crater-like looking kind of hole sunk down into a property space from the satellite imagery that you can see from of that part. What kind of a dynamite or quantity of a dynamite could do or could make that kind of a seizure? I mean, that kind of create that kind of a crater-like looking kind of a hole in
Can,
the
can,
ground.
can I answer you?
Bishop, you can't tell me. Just let me just. I
No, I'm
don't know.
not answering you. I said, can I answer you? I'm not
Okay.
answering you.
Okay, go on, please.
With my experience, I can tell you with a great degree of certainty that it was dynamite. That crater, dynamite, put a 20 kg dynamite on the surface and blast it up. It will give you that crater. With a very degree of certainty, I can tell you, nothing has contradicted the fact that it is dynamite. Nothing. I did some seismic operations with Slumberjay many years ago, so I can tell you. But if there are suspicions, let them exploit it. But for now, facts point to the fact that available evidence point to the fact that they were storing dynamite for, mining purposes.
That's what they will have us to believe. You see, Mr. Bishop, myself and you, I don't think we're experts when it comes to. I don't know how much of military training you said you have, or I don't know if you're a military guy. The thing is this: I'm not in that field to be able to say much on explosives and all of that. But it raises a lot of questions. What's the quantity of the dynamite that could cause that kind of a crater? Could it be could it be brought to a level of not just an explosive? I don't know how they categorize these things. I just go by what my field here is all about. Um, as an inspector, I will speak for my kind of field when we inspect buildings that have or where they manufacture. Okay, let me go this way. According to the IBC, that is International Building Code, there's there's what we call occupancy and usage classification. So why would you want to? How can the government allow people to store a dynamite, which I know they use in quarry to blast rocks and all of that, so as to be able to get to whatever they want to get to within a rock, or just to be able to mine whatever they want to mine from that area. I know they use dynamite, but what's the quantity of that dynamite that could be brought to a level of saying it's more like a bomb-looking kind of to cause that kind of a crater within that space? You see, this is just for the bomb experts or those people who expertise is on that area. But for me, what I'm going to say is that why would you allow people bring it? Because you see, there's what we call occupancies and usage, or use, occupancy and use. There are certain, we call them H, which is hazard, H occupancies. We have F, which is for factory. If you read the IBC, the National Building Code, you will see that there. There is areas, I mean, in fact, where in construction, we all call zoning. There are areas you cannot
store. Rational mind, all these things that you are saying is within the prisms of legality, but these were illegal miners.
So illegal, yeah. But then how did we get here? That's what I'm saying. If we're truly a state, a country, in the sense of it, we are building a country. How do we go to that? Whereby the lives of, you see, when developed countries like this have zoning where you can keep stuff like that. I understand what you're saying, one man. We need to speak to things like this so that
but they are keeping it illegally. They are not keeping
I know. But how? That's what I'm saying. That's to tell you how porous, how how unorganized we are as a society, as a country, in that country called Nigeria, or that geographical expression called Nigeria. Because I'm saying to you, if we are actually a space that has governance, that has people who, I know they must have agencies within the states that regulate something like that. I'll just give you an example that in the IBC, we have hazard H, occupancy H, which is where you store things like that. But they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think up to 5. And they have by category. What I'm trying to say is this: why would you, if we have agency that inspects, state agency that functions, they should be able to go and inspect and make sure that people do not even have access to explosives like that. And if you, I mean, mind you, in fact, there is a rumor online saying that even the corporate affairs, the name of those people who registered that business, who was storing that explosive or whatever they are mining or whatever they said they do not even have names. They can't even identify them. How would CAC allow people to open a business without even knowing the board of directors? People who are attached to that.
I think they identified them. I think Makinde said one of them, or some of them are foreign nationals.
That's what I said. There's so many things out there we don't even know what to make of. Go on, Bishop. But I want to quickly wrap up so that go on, please.
Sorry, I agree with you that there are questions, but let's take them one after the other, not like trading plates now. I will make 2 references to you. About 2 years ago, there was an explosion somewhere in Tennessee. I went there. I saw it. The whole area sunk. I don't know if you are aware of that explosion. That a man was storing massive explosive in his house. He died.
I'm aware of that. Yeah, I know of the guy.
Good.
Yeah.
It was illegal, but he managed to bring all those things. It was way more than what happened in Ibadan. The man had a bunker in his house that he stored massive explosive that shook. I went there. I saw it. I frequent Tennessee a lot. I saw that massive something. There was another one that somebody gave them a tip-off in Texas, that when they went to raid the man's house, the amount of explosive they got was enough to, in fact, sink a whole city. Now, these are illegalities. And it's here in Shonyo. Anytime Shoba, the ones that happened in Ibadan, unfortunately, happened. Some people accomplished it. When we get to that level, and what are the lessons? We used to call something LFI, learning from incidents. What lessons have been learned to forestall future occurrence? Number 1, facts available shows that it was dynamite that is being used for blasting. Except there are other facts that contradict that. So we keep that. I'm eager to say, oh, let them get to the root of it. Don't let just take it at the face value. That's one. Number 2, some people accomplish it because of greed, because they saw those things. Oriyomi Hamzat went there yesterday in the evening. I was interviewing a woman, and they were aware that those things were, but some people out of ignorance, some people out of complacency. So a lot of things have gone wrong. Let's hope and pray that we will learn from this so that we will forestall future occurrence. Oh, are people criminally liable? Definitely. But now is to clean up the dead, take care of the injured, and now begin to open the book one after the other. Forensic experts, who are the people involved. So many news will be on internet. I read a lot of them, but I see what I want to hold on to until then. I had the governor speak. I've had him speak twice, and he has not said anything other than the preliminary. And everywhere he says something, he puts a caveat that investigation will reveal more. He always put that caveat. Go and listen to his 2 interviews. That the preliminary has shown that yes, people were living there. They were having querying, and they were storing explosive, blah 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 blah. And people that saw the fire where it started from the adjoining building, and the fire spread. It was not that, it was the fire that actually triggered the explosion. So I agree with you, but at least maybe let's just give them a tiny benefit of the doubt. And when they come up with the results.
Bishop, let me say this. You see, you said a lot of things. You see, I don't even know where to even start from, trying to like go into some kind of a debate with you on this, what you just said. But I'll try and make my best and try and see if I can recollect some of the things you said that I want to counter you on. You see, when we try to draw parallel, which I'm not against that, but it's just sometimes when we try to draw parallel in some instances, I've always said, no, you cannot bring that now because Nigeria is different from America. And then when it's convenient for us, we want to bring parallel just to show that, oh, the same crappiness that we're seeing in our country is also happening here. Of course, I agree with you. I agree. The same way, despite there are laws that you must register your gun, if you must have a gun, you must go through some background check and everything. And at the end of the day, the guns to get into the hand of people who have mental issues, and you see them, they go commit mass murder. It happens here. I'm not disputing that fact. But the same thing you are comparing to, you are also leaving out some part that a system here that thrives on data. That the guy you're talking about in Tennessee, how? I mean, Bishop, you talked about, oh yeah, okay, he got those explosives, whether illegally or legally. We don't know. I don't know all the whole factors to that. But as far as we remember, immediately that thing happened, within 48 hours, the FBI, they were able to locate the guy, know that this is what the guy had. This data were just coming in because they have the fact and figures. Maybe when he was buying those, hold on. When he was buying those explosives, it's a free country. They believe everybody has rights. Even lunatic here has rights. That's what it's because that's what. Let me not become bad participant here. But my point is this: is that it's a free country where they believe everybody has right, even a lunatic. They will let you get whatever you want to have. They will let you get it. But I'm saying that they have. They have. Your bishop. Yeah. So they have data. They can trace. Now, how many hours now? 48, almost 48, almost for 50 something hours now. How many hours now? We've not had anything apart from what Sheyi Makinde said. And you are justifying Sheyi Makinde. Fine, I know he's as a governor, he has to come up with something to say. Now, now we're talking about Sheyi Makinde. I don't know how he got about, maybe words of mouth or whoever told him. In a situation like you forgot to, you even leave out this information when this idiot, the idiot from Tennessee, when he did what he did. You forgot that the FBI condoned of that place. I watched it here. They sent in bomb experts. Nobody could go into that crime scene or whatever he has done before they had to go into his house to go and find out that he has more explosive. You leave that part out. Maybe they did not do that deliberately, but I'm just saying that they sent in, they condoned it off. But when this thing happened, those areas, I mean, have you seen video imagery coming out from that place that we see people even going tampering with the evidence there? Where are the bomb experts? Hold on. How did they get fragment? I don't know. Let me not say all of it, but I don't know. As far as I can see, there was not. We didn't see like we will see. But the countries where we live here, you will see bomb experts, FBI, both state agencies. They will all be there. They will be packed. You will see them forensics. They will be on the ground there, digging, collecting samples or whatever they can. Where are the samples they collected for them to conclude that it was a dynamite? They only go by these people, they are into mining, they store dynamite there. How do we know that there was no terrorist act in this, disguising it as a form of dynamite? You see, the point is this: we are a lawless country. We do not hold on. When I say lawless, maybe I should not use the word. We're a country that is not organized, and we need to say it the way it is. And why I'm saying this is that whoever is going to listen to you this later, maybe our policymakers, you need to start thinking that if we have to build a country, we need law and order. And the law and order here says you must have data to be able to prosecute. You must have evidence. You cannot just be saying things on TV because you're the governor, saying, yeah, it's a dynamite. How do we know it's a dynamite? When you don't have forensics on ground, you do not condone of that area. There were pictures, videos of, so go online, you see a lot of them. People going there and filming, even going as far as even touching the evidences that should be evidence that should be used by forensics as to get information. What are these? I mean, collect samples. You will see them on ground. You will digging, picking up fragments or whatever to be able to prove if this thing was actually what's it called, dynamite, like they say. When I just go by what people say, that house, we know that house. People say in that area that there were Somalians that were living in that house. They were bringing in stuff inside there. It could have been dynamite because they were. You can't just go by that. You need forensics on ground. So did we see any forensic? Did you even see any? All the imagery I've been seeing there, all the videos. There's no one. One time we see one forensic expert or one bomb expert sit down, and they were taking a picture of him, and he was taking the samples, putting inside a bag just to see if this was. Man, come on. We know how things goes. We cannot be saying things and just be discriminating, supporting them. I have something I want to say, but let's just leave it at that because okay, go on. You want to say anything before?
No, I actually wanted to go on, but let me just put it like this. Number one, the governor was not speaking as an expert. He said preliminary investigation showed that. So he was coaching. I'm sure his special advisor on security matter was there. What do they call it now? The brigade commander was there. The bomb unit of the state police was there. So all of them must have briefed him. And he said, and I said he put a caveat waiting for that investigation and, when they gather.
What are the investigations? It's okay. Have you seen? I don't know. Yesterday I was reading on Naira Land, Naira whatever they call that. I have an account there. You see this. We have a bunch of phony people, imposters. And that. Have you seen a video of? I will let you continue. A video of Nigerian police, MPF. They show a drone, some kind of, I don't know what kind of drone that looks like a bucket. I don't know what kind of arcade bucket that was flying in the air. They said they were using it to track down. I mean, they show us that, but they cannot show us forensics on ground, condoning of that area and digging ground. I mean, we see it here on video. That's what I'm saying. You cannot be giving us all these kind of things when it's convenient for them.
Nobody is giving anything. I think you are not being fair.
Why am I not being fair? I'm a Christian. I will criticize them. I will not give them any.
Where you criticize the objective.
Am I not being objective?
When you criticize the objective.
Am I not being objective? I'm telling you what happened, comparing what is known and what we can see, both what we can see and what we cannot see. That's how I draw my inference. I look at antecedents and I look at precedent.
Okay, just let me just add that the Tennessee you were making reference to. There is nothing that happened in Ibadan that did not happen in Tennessee. The fact that the system failed to track the man to be able to amass that amount of explosive, that system that you were talking of, that data failed woefully for one individual in a residential area to be able to amass that amount of. There is always a human angle to everything. I'm not abdicating. I'm not I'm not defending what happened. We can do better. We should do better. We expect them to do better. But they are going to learn from this. I am not drawing any conclusion. I am not casting aspersion. Something has happened. It is one layer after the other. No matter how people have interfered with it, but when the real experts with the right eyes come, they know what to look for and they will fish those things out. They will get it. Maybe your expectations are super high, and we tend to forget that there are human angle to everything, whether it's an incident or an accident. So I'm not defending what has happened. The governor did not say emphatically. He's saying that preliminary investigation reveals, and they have asked people questions. They have been able to identify that people were doing what do you call it there, and it is illegal. So you are talking about it's not registered, it's not documented. No, because it is an illegal activity. So I just want to leave it there for now. Sad enough that 2 people confirmed dead, 13 people are awaiting surgery, about 6 or 7 of them critical. Others have been discharged. It is bad enough that some people have lost their homes that they have labored to build over the years. So maybe if we take it one at a time, we'll get to the root of it, purposely to be able to forestall future reoccurrence of this sad and ugly incidents. Thank you.
All right, brilliant. Let me play this clip, and then you pick it up off the back of the clip, Bishop. Give us just a condensed narrative and then rational mind. There are 2 more topics I want you to speak to. So this one and then one other one. But I pick it up off the end. Give us a condensed narrative and then rational mind.
Back to those old days. So for me, it was no longer a contest between individuals. It was not a contest between a so-called interim political party and democracy. And when you have a binary like that, I have no doubt, no hesitation at all about what side of the barricades my position should be. And that interview by Dati, that disgraceful, menacing interview, was for me the ultimate signal. Because this was somebody, calling for a rubbishing of a structure by which he himself had profited to ever become a governor. I'm talking about Peter Obi, who was what is known as a judgment governor. And even before he'd attended the tribunal had sat, his party, his spokesman, in this case Dati, came on television to threaten everyone, to threaten her if his interpretation of the results was not upheld. I mean, this for me was amoral, politically amoral, socially immoral. It was playing to a certain script, even if they didn't know it. That's very important. It was later that I began to express my suspicion that they were part of the script. At the beginning, I even thought, look at these poor fools. They don't see that they are playing to other people's script. What a pity. So at that time, hostilities were not yet so intense. So this is what I was referring to in that sometimes democracy leaves the stage of individual contest for power and then commences its own struggle for existence, for actualization. Democracy, as you and I understand it, you cannot accept judgments only when they favor you if you go by the same arbitration panel, the same arbitration structure. You cannot just say, I accept this only when it suits me. I mean, it is an insult.
So there it is. What do you make of that, Bishop?
Well, to a very great, large extent, I agree with him. I'm trying to play back what he said. I think I agree with him. There's no way I disagree with him. I believe, and in addition, that Peter Obi has no more damage to our political emancipation, political growth in Nigeria than ever before. He brought some angle to it. It's difficult to discuss these things without necessarily being on one side of the divide objectively. Long before the election, I did something. I chose 5 interviews of Peter Obi, and I spent the whole night listening to them. Some of them 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, and I listened to them. And my conclusion was that Obi is completely unintelligent and clueless. And but I was at loss as to the amount of people that were so much promoting him. And I began to ask questions. I know some of them personally. I was asking questions. Is there something you are seeing I'm not seeing? Or just because you hate A, you now because the way at which they were throwing their support, his utterances. So he's done more damage. And let me say this without apology. Peter Obi had damaged the chance of any Igbo to become president of Nigeria in the nearest future. And when I say nearest future, it's not going to happen in the next 20, 30, 40 years.
I'm not sure you can go that far, Bishop. Somebody like Charles Soludo, a lot of Nigerians gravitate towards him. Somebody like Dave Umahi, you know.
Okay.
So,
I will tell you why.
Sorry, Bishop. What Obi actually highlighted was a certain sort of ethnic peculiarity. So, and we all knew that existed anyway. So he mainly just he whipped up the ethnic sentimentality of that space, and then he whipped up the disenchantment of a wider space, and that was what constituted this mass. So I don't think it was essentially. I don't think it damns all the Igbos because it didn't do anything that came to anybody as a surprise.
One man, sir. I will tell you this. Between 2015 and now, a lot of things that played out in that space politically. The climax was Obi emergence and thinking he can divide the North using religion. And some of his kinsmen came. Imagine somebody coming to claim that Igbos dominate the North, that there are more than 7 million Igbos in the Northeast. There are more than 5 million Igbos in the Northwest. There are more than 11 million Igbos in the Southwest. That if all of them vote, he believed that Igbos vote will make him president. Now, in Nigeria is standing on the tripod. There must always be an alliance between two to be able to win. Igbo, Hausa, core North will not go into alliance with the Southeast. Not now, not anytime in the future. And with what has played out, no Southwest will go into an alliance with Igbo. I am looking forward to a day we will bring referendum to the table so that if we want to have Biafra in peace, let us have it. A lot of their utterances, people are going I just said a few minutes ago. Let me land, please, let me land. That's what I just said a few minutes ago. Internet never forgets. And when that time comes, people will bring it out. Look, there was a trend in Nigeria that Yoruba was completely played out of Nigerian politics. We did not bring the roof down. We did not destroy Nigeria. We did not say Nigeria is a zoo. We went and re-strategized. Under Jonathan, despite the fact that it was Southwest vote that made Jonathan to win that election, Jonathan completely neglected the Southwest. Southwest was completely, marginalized under Jonathan's government. I remember they were begging him to give them SGF. He refused. He gave it to an Igbo man. They were begging him to give it, okay, when he sacked Lamido Sanusi, he refused. He went and brought another Emefiele. He now went and brought Arogbofa as chief of staff and was flaunting it that he has made their son. What kind of a glorified messenger house help is that? But we did not bring down the roof. We went and strategized. So for me, I have not seen any Southwest going into alliance with the Southeast. And I have not seen any real northern political bloc doing the same thing. So, except we are not using democracy again. If it is democracy, votes. I can't see it now. No, it's not now. Thank you. Rationama, you want to say something?
Yeah, so yeah. You see, again, there's so many, when we just because one man is trying to limit us to a particular time, there's so many things you said I really did not really go down with me. I don't know when there's a question I keep asking people, especially the Agbado people and so-called Yoruba people, those people who call themselves Ronu people. I said, when has Tinubu's ambition been the ambition of the Yoruba people? Can we just try and see how we can separate Tinubu's ambition of wanting to be a president from the Yoruba's ambition, or what Yoruba people yearn for? Can we just do that? But we know where these Agbado people and the Ronu idiots, then, I mean, where they stand on this matter.
Rational mind.
No,
No. Hold on. Please hold on.
Okay,
Please
all
hold
right.
on. Yoruba Ronu.
No, when I say Yoruba, I'm not talking about Yoruba Ronu people.
No, you said Ronu idiot. No. Please take that word back.
Hold on. I won't do that. Hold on, I will not do that.
Ronu idiot.
No, now.
Bishop, let him just flow. You already know rational mind now, so you can't change him now. So
hold on.
When I said
hold on. I'm not speaking to the hold on. Bishop, understand me. And talk about Taba, Olo Moare. Talk about Taba anybody. I've not mentioned anybody's name. I'm only saying those pro-Tinubu Yorubas who have to spin everything about Tinubu to be Yoruba people, Yoruba's interests. No, those are the people I'm talking to. And when I say Yoruba Ronu idiots, I'm referring to these people who are Tinubu's people, who are the Agbado people, who see every Tinubu's interest to mean the generality of the Yoruba's interest. No, those are the people I'm referring to. I'm not talking to the generality of the Yorubas who are thinkers, who are intelligentias. I'm not referring to these people. The real intelligentias who try to separate what is Yoruba's interest from a person's interest. That's what I'm talking about here. So let us get that clear, Bishop. So whoever I'm talking to here, who is listening to us later, not here, not you. When I say you here, I'm talking about who people are going to listen to us later. I'm not referring to them. And if you know that you are part of them, it's up to you. But I won't apologize for that. There are certain things I will apologize for. There are certain things I will not apologize for. So when I hope I've cleared myself when it comes to that. I'm referring to the Tinubu's Yoruba people who are bigots, who spin everything at every like this bomb blast where you're talking about the other time. I don't know when we start, apart from verified Instagram, or I don't know, Instagram, yeah, or Twitter now. What do they call it? I don't know what they call it now. Apart from verified handles,
X, they call it X now.
X. Apart from those who are verified, that okay, Chinedu, Vivo, Okoro, verified. Apart from that, but that now we see on internet made up names, supposedly maybe Igbo-looking names, or maybe from the east or from the south. Now, when they go against Tinubu's interest, now you start the Ronu idiots. They will start labeling it. Oh, you see, we said it now. These people, they hate us. They hate you. Those who are batified idiots that would want to spin everything.
What man?
Now.
No. What man? Please, can I say a word?
Okay, go on. Say a word. Please go on.
If three of us are having a conversation here, when you refer to Ronu idiots, I am the one that I'm receiving it here. Listen. You are saying it directly to me. You have said, look, National Man, you have a position. You have a biased position. No, you have a biased position. I agree. I don't understand, but we can still be. Hold on now. Let me say what I'm saying. See, there is no way you want to cut it. You want to dice it. You cannot put the spirit of hatred, the spirit of disgusting utterances, abuses on just Yorubas alone. That you are not saying that some people, you are just pinning. Stop it.
No, hold on. Yorùbá méjì. Mi ò ń ṣe ọmọ àlè Yorùbá. Ọmọ bíbí Yorùbá ni mí. Bí bá tẹ́ ń sọ Yorùbá tẹ́ mi sọ is from the coast of Ondo State. Yorùbá mi lè wà twisted because of the accent or maybe other language I have in my tongue. That does not make me less of a Yoruba. Now, if I say I place my ancestors, they can land now. You sorrow. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, does that make me, if I trace my ancestry to maybe, partly Fulani, partly from somewhere in the east, like Igbo, I don't know, whatever it is, that does not make me less of a Yoruba. I know where I'm from in Yoruba. The idiot that comes on online here by the name Ganiu that always come and grab me by the neck and want to like suffocate words from my mouth. I'm just make sure that you understand. So that does not make me less of a Yoruba. In fact, the Ondo people from the coast are more Yoruba than any other person, any other Yoruba. I'm not trying to belittle any Yoruba person. I'm just saying that they are also Yorubas. So people who are, so let me just go straight to so my point is this, is that Tinubu's interest is not Yoruba's interest. Let's forget those political rhetorics that he was spewing in Abeokuta all because he wants to become president, making it look like, our Yoruba local, all those kind of crap. We know what they do every time when is the election. We know how they pitch Yoruba's head and hit it on other tribes that they know that pose threats to them for continuing their hegemony within the Yorubas, especially within the Lagos state space, where he launches his what's it called? His global, his national political ambition, whereby he had to like dictate who becomes what's it called? Governors in other states, like even in my own state, in Ondo state, and maybe in Osun state, in Oyo state, and maybe also in the Ogun state. Let's forget all those crap. My point is this: is that Tinubu's interest is Tinubu's interest. His interest does not represent Yoruba's interest. Can he also use his interest to fight for the Yoruba? I believe he can. But is it what he wants to do? I don't think that's what he wants to see. That's what he wants to do. It's all about him and for his people. What I mean by minions that see him as a messiah-like kind of person, they want to use him to enrich themselves. It's not for Yoruba. Because I've seen that politics in Lagos, what they played in Lagos. It's not for the Yoruba's interest. Or the people, the general people welfare of the Yoruba or people within the Lagos space. It was just for his own interest, which he has eventually realized becoming the president. Because all the money he got from Lagos State, more than half of it, he cornered it into his pockets and his cronies. But let's leave that. That's by the way. But my point is that when we come online here, people like Wole Soyinka that I once used to respect, but ever since he made that comment that fascist, I've lost respect for that man. And what is the reason why? I used to see what some of the shenanigans he has. I used to see some of the crap he has said in the past, even before he said that issue of what's it called, fascism or whatever he calls it. He referred to some certain people. I used to see some of them. I just like, sometimes we were not always politically correct. Sometimes we might just have to in our own view. But now that he continues, this is gay. Let me not even call it a game. This is attack of this man and his group or his supporters. This is the same guy whom you call fascist. And after that, was it after that or before then, he came to see you just to show that, look, man, I don't have anything against you. I know I have my supporters. Should I rein them in? I should be able to rein them in. But if I see that, they are radicals, and that's what I can. I've spoken to them, guys. Can we tone down this rhetoric of Nigeria go born, go born, all that kind of thing? Can we tone it down? But if they do not respond, and they said no, we want to fight. We must get the right people in. So be it. He has come and talked to you about it, but you continue hammering and punching on this guy. I don't know what the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka wants. Am I surprised? I'm not surprised, because his antecedent dates back to the Nadeko time when this impostor in Aso Rock, he claims to be.
No, I'm driving all through the night.
Okay.
I want to tell you about this. You see, it is I try sometimes to leave my personal bias when I want to address issues. I try to be objective. You are not. You are not. Hold on. There is zero objectivity. Zero minus zero in everything you have said. And you are very consistent with that. So I give it to you. But try at some time to break a ground and try and stay in the middle. You are taking your hatred and personal hatred.
It's not
everything that has to do. Your statement. You have been speaking for 5 minutes. You have been speaking for 5 minutes now. I want to move.
But I didn't stop from speaking now.
No, I did everything.
Can I land?
I agree with you.
Okay, your land. If I speak the way I speak, you can say hatred. Yes, it is hatred. Or I don't have more time for bullshit. We had 8 years of, okay, let me not say, we had 8 years of boo-boo. Wasted. The lives of our people in Nigeria were wasted. Look at how our people are running out of that country. I mean, you see, don't get me started on many things that I could go on, because you know me very. I go off tangent, and when I go off tangent, it's because I want to bring up points here and there, just to support.
Let's talk point. Let's talk point for point. Let's talk point for point.
Now, Dionisio, I appreciate you coming today so that we can have this. You know, this is should I call it the beauty of this platform? When we butted like this, when I mean butted, doesn't mean we are fighting. We are attacking each other.
No, I want to address something you just said now. Point for point.
Now, I go for word. I go for. I mean, when I'm talking, I try to not to offend my co-debaters here needlessly. But when you see me, I'm hesitant like this where I speak. I'm trying not to rile anybody up, but just trying to look for a word in a way I would say that sounds palatable to the hearing. So my point is this, Bishop, if I'm going to lose it, my point is that I do not hate any of those politicians. As a person, I hate their method. I hate their politics. I hate what they stand for. They do not stand for the people. They stand for their own egotistical. I mean, in French, call them egoist. They are egoists. They're just about themselves and about their whatever they want. That's what is it about these people. That is what I hate. And I can't bottle it when I have opportunity to speak like this on platforms, because I know how much. I'm not saying that nobody does not send money to Nigeria, but I know how much. If everybody's okay in Nigeria, my brother, I'll be billionaire in Naira today. I'll be billionaire in Naira. But because every time people call me from Nigeria, people I know, people I don't know, they call me. Why? Because the idiots there, the leaders there, they've ruined the lives of our people. And you want me to come here and speak with peace? I cannot be peaceful with these people. That is why the way I sound every time when I come here, I sound like I just curse them. I use insultive language on them, not because I hate them as a person, but I hate their politics. That has not benefited the lives of our people. And the same rhetoric they use, Rome was not built in a day. And some of us here will come here on this platform, will be repeating the same rhetoric that they are spewing into our ear, into our psyche. Rome was not built in a day. You know when Babangida was there? We used to hear a song on NTA back then. Join us, come with us. We are by the year 2000 don't go like this guy sang. What's his name? This guy. They say 2000 has gone. And then where are we today? What happened to that millennium project that they said they were going to do there? Everything gone down the drain. Bubu come with me. Abasanjo come with his own. That one, Yadua come with his own. All of them, they keep coming. They could not move that country forward. And we will come here and be excusing them. You know, he met the rods there. Let's give him time. That was how we said about Bubu. 8 years went. 8 years that we cannot get back again of our people's life. Ruined. And you want me to come here and be talking with peace about these people? Come on, yeah, John. I'm not that kind of person. I don't hate them. I hate their politics. And that is what I speak of, and I speak with passion here. So my point is this, that when people like Wole Soyinka comes here, whom I know is antecedent with Tinubu, how he dated back to the Nadeko time, how they were trying to sell rice. I mean, he himself said it, I didn't say it. Only for rice, so wait, I want better rice, offer my rice, my sponsor, Nadeko movement. Recently, we saw him, he went there. Why did he not take a 10-point agenda to go and meet Bubu when Bubu was there? I mean, he supported Bubu in 2015. Did he not? He said it with his own mouth. Why did he carry 10-point agenda to go and meet Bubu at the office and said, Bubu, this is 10 points. This is what I want you to work on. But he went to meet Tinubu, and what did he say? He said, Tinubu, our something dated back to, dated back to many years. Me and Tinubu has always been. That is it, because it's Tinubu person. He has said it. So should I expect anything, just the way you criticize me of not being objective? How do I expect him to be objective when he is himself tainted by Tinubu or whatever crap? Tinubu, I don't know what Tinubu always sing praise of this man. I don't know what it is. So do I expect him to come here and be objective like you also criticize me of not being objective? No, I will not, because I know his antecedent with Tinubu dated back not just from what we just heard from what he said. It has been they've been together in the Nadeko era time. So what are we talking about? So that's my point. So this man that I used to once respect, for me, I've lost respect for him. Because one way Agbaman Bongba me, Agbaon Tenumoro, TTA, don't contend tomorrow. Every time Mama I just don't know what this guy came to you and said, okay, sir, I know my people are my supporters are boisterous. They are just yearning for a new Nigeria. That's why they are like that. In 2015, we know how the Tinubu and Bubu, what they did to Jonathan. I was one of them. I was singing praise of Bubu then, going by what he did in 1984 or 83 when he was there. I was one of those people that sang it. But I know that I realized that this guy was just like they've been saying many years ago that this guy has nothing upstairs. I realized it was a dear God that was behind it. So let's just leave that. My point is this: is that these people that we're talking about. Okay, let me go to the Shoyinka himself. Shoyinka, I know where he stands on this matter, but like somebody who is a grown-up, 80-something years old man, but I know he's a bigot. Anybody that associates himself with Tinubu, you must be a bigot. You must throw out that narrative of, oh, Igbo this, Igbo that, they hate Yoruba, all because of Tinubu. Tinubu now is now Yoruba, right? And people, our Yoruba Cameroon, they can need self-introspection, baby. Because the way it's going, if it's going to be some kind of ethnic cleansing already on the in Lagos already, using the guise of, oh, we're trying to maintain building code or whatever.
Let's leave it. Let's move on. One man.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. No. You go back and sit down. No, you go back and sit down.
Okay.
And be very analytical of yourself. Be very objective.
But
Be very objective.
Can you debunk anything I've just said now? You just keep saying I'm not analytic, and I'm not analytic. I'm not being objective. Can you give me an example?
You are not analytical. I'm not saying you are not analytical. I say be very analytical and be very objective. Look.
Where is no objectivity in what I just said now? I just give you. You see,
there is zero objectivity.
Okay,
there is zero. Okay, everything you have said now in Nigeria, you are telling me the Yorubas are the problems and not the Igbos.
No, I'm not saying you. Oh, you see, this is where you're going again. You see, I've not
what
said.
You have said.
No, I've not said that.
No. But I hear that much.
No. It won't conclude. No, I'm driving.
So that we can have this conversation. I thought it was going to be 30 minutes or at least 1 hour.
We appreciate having you around, but it's like I don't know.
Appreciate. What I'm saying is this: we don't need to agree 100%. No, but I'm saying you. I'm talking to you now.
Okay.
You in particular.
That.
Review your. Just try and review. We can disagree without being disagreeable.
Okay.
And we can pick salient points. Look, I will tell you. Despite the fact that I'm Yoruba and I am very much Yoruba now, I need to be very liberal because I want to be objective. But I will still pick certain things I don't agree with in Yoruba land. The picture you just painted now. Everything about Tinubu is evil. Everything about Wole Soyinka because she supports Tinubu is evil. It's very subjective.
Okay.
It's extremely very subjective. Now you are not taking it to another point. You are taking it to another point now that in the issue of problem of Nigeria between Igbo and Yoruba, it is the Yorubas that are problem. I disagree with you vehemently on that. Completely.
Once you are insinuating now, and I've not insinuated what you just said now. Let me set the matter straight now. I've not said Yoruba are the problems, but I'm saying the Yoruba part of Tinubu Agbado people are the people that are problems.
Don't separate Yoruba part of Tinubu. Generality of Yoruba voted for him.
Thank you very much.
Majority of Yoruba voted for him.
No. You see, that is what we're getting wrong.
What are you getting wrong? What are you getting wrong?
How many Yoruba states? He won 3, right? Majority.
Yeah.
Agree.
He won 4.
Now, but he lost 2 of them. He lost Lagos. He lost even his own state where he's originally from. Let us see that.
I don't care where he said. The man told me he's from Lagos, so forget where he's originally from. We're not there where they bought it.
He's from Lagos, and then Oyetola, his cousin is from Osun State, Abi.
You can have I have relations from Ogun State. I have relations in Lagos State. Don't forget that one. Let's leave that one. Leave that one. That's not material.
Okay, it's immaterial. Okay, well, you can say that it's immaterial. My point is this: is that you see, you just said what I was expecting you to say, and you just said it. You said, "Do not separate Tinubu's interest from the Yoruba's interest." My goodness!
Oh my God! I said majority of the Yorubas voted for him. Am I wrong?
Fine. By the tabulation of the INEC result,
by the election that is not the result.
That is debatable too. This is I think one man is allowing you and I to debate this among ourselves, and I don't want you to see this as being confrontational with you. We're only having a debate, you and I, as people within your Yoruba that we are. Like to, of course, I will not. Okay, let me not go into all this. Let me not start being preachy. My point is this: is that Tinubu's, like I was saying, it is still debatable. Tinubu did not win. Okay, fine. Those people who cast, let's just use the word. Those people who cast their vote, the majority of the votes casted, just like what happened in Iowa, where 15%, 15% of Iowans, they voted, and out of it, Trump had more than 50-something percent. 50% of almost 100% of the Republicans that are supposed to vote in Iowa, only 15 votes came out to vote, but Trump won more than 50% of it. And now you can say that, hey, he has the mandate of the Republicans. Yeah, we can say that, but not the majority of the Republicans of the party voted. Mind you that. So that's what we're talking about here. The majority of the Yorubas did not vote. But the ones that voted, yeah, agreed, he won it. So let's also go, even his own enclave within Lagos, somebody you will tag as a bigot in the person of OP, he won Lagos, he won Abuja. These are two cities that are more diverse, cosmopolitan, but he won them. So what are we talking about here? So you see, when we start using all this rhetorics of, you see, that's what they want us to do. Always talk about this bigotry of ethnicity, tribe, clans in that country, all because it promotes their kind of politics, their kind of brand of politics. Because as soon as we're divided, oh, a Yoruba man, me as a Yoruba man, I could be seen, they made me see that, oh, an Igbo man is my problem. An Igbo man is my enemy. Enemy of what has an Igbo man done to me? Has he killed me? Has he killed my daughter, my son, my wife, or my family, or my dad? No. Because Tinubu and his minions wants to become president. They want to become governor. They want to become commissioner. They want to continue holding way in that territory of called Yoruba land. They want to become the head of that. So therefore, I should see an Igbo man as a threat. Come on. I mean,
say that my analysis of the fact on ground is this.
That's an analysis.
There is nothing. Yeah, that's so. Let me. What you presented is your analysis too. Yeah, it's your fact. It does not make it a fact.
People will go and do their fact checking.
So go ahead. See, you can even pretend to be objective and be you see, there's something about objective analysis. Irrespective of where you stand, you will be able to pinpoint and point out objectivity in it. Somebody said people behave like they are fascists. He used it to describe them. You have an issue with him. You have very serious issue with him because, and you've called him names. He's an 80-something-year-old man. You've called him names, you've disparaged him. That's okay. That's you.
What name did I call him? Can you remind me what name did I call him? Here again, you're going again off tangent. I mean, you're going off what I did not say.
I'm not going off tangent.
Give me an example. What did I call? Did I call him an idiot or did I call him anything? So far, from what I've just said, give me an instance. What name did I call him? Besides Boo Boo and Tinubu that I called names. Did I call him a name? I did not. You see, this is what you're doing now.
You called him names.
Who I am not.
No, don't go there. Don't go there. No. Don't let us go there.
Give me an example. Give me an example of what I said about Soyinka.
Oh my God. I'm trying to remember. You called him names, but let's leave that. If I remember,
I did not call him names. All I said was I lost respect for him. Am I surprised? That's what I said. He's a Tinubu man. That's what I said. That's not insulting.
Yeah. Okay. One man.
Insult people. He's only going to be Republican. He's going to be.
I will have to.
Okay, go back again. I mean, in our next conversation, please bring it up. And if I ever do that,
I want to just say.
Okay, go on, please.
Objective analysis and subjective analysis.
What determines this objectivity?
Hold on now. Why don't you let me say my? I listen to you very well.
Okay, go on, please.
Go on. It is not something you cannot mix them. When you will go money no alive, where you know that your analysis is very, very one-sided. And the point I made is very clear. I looked at Obi and I saw that he was not a candidate that is fit. That's me. You think he was fit. Other people think he was fit. We went to the poll. The poll said otherwise. I thought every level of reasonableness should have stopped there. Politics and politicking had stopped. The tribunal affirmed the winner. The appeal court, the election affirmed, produced a winner. The appeal court affirmed it. The Supreme Court put yet some people still say his personal ambition. Oh, he was not voted. Oh, he forced himself there. Oh, he did this. Oh, he manipulated. He did this. Look, Peter Obi in the southeast, people could not vote. If you are going to vote for another candidate apart from Peter Obi, they beat people up. It did not happen in Lagos. The media and some of the people that want to believe otherwise, believe it, they ran with that narrative. Oh, they were voter suppression. The amount of voter suppression that happened in the southeast, where suddenly they told us that as much as 90% of the people voted for only Peter Obi, all the Yorubas and the Hausas and the other people there, they did not vote. All of them just folded their arms. They did not vote. Peter Obi got 90% in the southeast. There is nowhere in the southwest that Tinubu got more than, I think the highest he got was whether 58% or 68% in Ekiti. But it is Yoruba people that voted for Peter Obi in the southwest and voted for Atiku in the southwest of Osun that are now bigots, not Peter Obi that almost got 100%. And when they asked him, he said, and I am quoting him verbatim, that he was even surprised that he did not get 100%. He was expecting to get 100% in all of the southeast states. I am quoting him verbatim electorato. And it is Tinubu that even in his own state that he had governed, it was so liberal that he lost and he accepted it, that is now a bigot. He is the one that is intolerant. He is the one that Yorubas are Ronu talk. That Yorubas are Ronu idiots. Come on.
No, can I interject you?
Peter Obi, hold on. Peter Obi, the first video that came out when he was talking with some people, and there was a local, what is this guy's name? That brought a WhatsApp video that was not traced to one of his own people. Because people did that WhatsApp message, they purchased it, and they got the person that released it and sent it to Peter Obi, and he was playing it. That they said that Ronwo, that if you vote for Peter Obi, he will go and build ports in the southeast. That Yoruba, he now brought that thing out. Peter Obi read that thing out, and they were showing it on video. It's still there today, and it was from his own people that came out from. I mean, how much do we want? Because somebody said, Emilio come, I will come. How many years me, I want to say it our tongue. You are laughing, yeah, because you know it's true. That video is there. I can tell you.
I know it not to be true. I know it to be a spinning. It's a spinning, not truth.
What spinning?
It's half truth, half lies. What you just said now.
Which one?
When I mean lies, when I mean lies.
Which one? No, which one?
No
which one?
Disrespect to you. I will address them when time comes. When you allow me.
I think which one are you saying? Is it the video that Peter Obi said that gets someone?
The video you're talking about, you spin it. You spin that narrative. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That video. That's what I'm referring to.
Okay. Woman. Okay,
So,
I'm listening to you,
can
but
I say something? Can I say something now, real quick? Can I say something? You
Yeah,
see,
yes. Say it, and then we
you
go on
see,
to the last topic.
Bishop,
yes,
so many
I will
things.
start driving slowly, but go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Sorry if I don't mean to make you drive slowly. I know you need to do your
No, but that's fine. I just want to.
Okay.
I have almost
There's a
11
target,
hours more to drive.
okay. I mean, there's a target for you to get your stuff in on time.
No, I can park it.
Okay.
I run at 5 a.m.
Just know, this ice is not it's not in your way of driving.
No, mo ti kúrò ní ọ̀nà ice. Mo ti kúrò lọ́nà snow ní Missouri àti Kansas. Snow ti dì pẹ̀lú mi ní last week.
Wow.
Saturday, Sunday morning.
Our city here is under lockdown. I mean, when I mean lockdown, not really lockdown. But I mean, people are just indoor. We cannot. The roads are just not even icy, glassy.
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 It was God even saved me from an accident because of
I wonder how I was asking you. I wonder how you were driving. I don't know. Maybe you are south.
No. It's okay now. I'm in Missouri now. I'm in the southern part of Missouri now. I'm coming from Kansas, so I mean, so you have to wear out. That's the. I know.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Yeah, it's terrible here. Our road here is not even. I mean, I've been working from home here for the past few days now. So yeah. So anyway, yeah. So you see, some of the things you said is debatable. I would say, like I said, no disrespect to you, they're not entirely true. And I won't want to qualify. I mean, I say qualify. I mean, I want to speak right. I won't qualify it as lies, but I would say it's untruth. It's not entirely true what you said. You see, this is what the propagandists they employ when they want to bring out they want to spin things. They will spin it. Maybe that's another word I should use. They will bring something that looks like one part of it will be true, and then they now spin it, narrative around it. That is where the untruth is found in there. So, but let's just leave that. So my point is this: is that we can debate this matter however way we want to debate it. I'll continue saying it. Tinubu's interest is Tinubu's interest. Tinubu's interest is not the interest of the generality of the Yorubas. Even though he might use that narrative when he spoke, whatever he did and said Yoruba's interest. I mean, the Bubu not said it. Did not say, or maybe he did not say it. Let me not say Bubu said it. But my point is this: is that we know how all these politicians, these criminal politicians, how they play their narrative of during the election, how they made themselves like their national leader of their ethnic group, champions of their ethnic group, and then when they get there, we see the crap they did, how they did not even better the lives of their ordinary people of their clans or their tribe. It's all just for them and their family and their cronies, the benefits. So for me, I don't see that as the interest or the general interest of these people. Now, if I were to go on addressing one by one some of the things you said, time will fail us here. I know one man wants to move on. But my point is this: in conclusion, with the Nobel, let me not call it Nobel laureate, Mr. Wole Soyinka, I will say this about him. Àtẹnumọ́ ẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù. Àgbàlagbà, àwọn àgbàlagbà, báwo ṣe máa sọ? Àwọn àgbàlagbà. Ṣé Yorùbá yẹn tẹ̀ sound náà? Àwọn àgbàlagbà wọn ní àtẹnumọ́ ẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù. Kó máa tẹnumọ́ ọ̀rọ̀. Fascist. I know maybe it was probably I don't even know who's going to buy that book. Maybe some people, the Yoruba part of the Agbado people will buy the book from him. I say he was launching a book called what was that book's name? Something the Igbophobia, something. That was, I think they said he was trying to promote. And I don't even know what he was going to write in that book. If it's going to be this bigotry that is spewing, and it continues spewing online. If you have a beef with a politician, have a beef with him. That's fine. But now when you start spinning it along the ethnic and clans angle, that is when I have beef with it. So where is the objectivity in that? Because everybody plays politics. We know how the politics plays in that country. It's always ethnic. If an Hausa Fulani, I don't believe anything Hausa. If a Fulani man is running, he will make it like an Hausa Fulani man and it's a Muslim thing in that country. And then maybe you'll find one southerner that is a baby Christian to join body, and then he will rally up his people. I mean, how many people that died during Bubu in 2011 when he was running for presidency? You know how many people died? On what premise was those people that were killed? We know it's always ethnic. It's always it's always religious, it's always clans in that country. So, and this election is it's not it's no different, it's in no way different from the previous election that is always heavily charged along ethnic and religious line. So why suddenly now, because an Igbo man is vying for an office and his own people are supporting him, just the way you people that come here, I mean, when I mean come here, not you particularly, I'm not talking about you. Okay, let me just say it. All the people that come here that are supporting Tinubu, most of you that are coming here, you are Yoruba, you want to champion his cause. So if an Igbo person comes here now and champion his cause of Obi, he has committed a sin of an unforgivable sin. How does that even sound logical? How does that even sound? I mean, how does that not even? I mean, I don't even understand how we reason in that country. You knew that this election was more of a. We have three major candidates that were ethnic champions of their clans and of their tribe. What's his name? Former Vice President Atiku. He's a Fulani man. You have Tinubu, who is the champion of some Yorubas, and you saw how the result played out in Southwest. How you yourself you said it that Yoruba people we are very liberal, even though they like try to sell us this bobo of it is we against them. Let's do that. And then we have Obi, who is also a champion of his own tribe too, because they've always claimed that they've been neglected. They've not ever had the opportunity of becoming getting into the presidency. That's always been screamed out. And his ethnic group said, and they've already had this agitation from time to time of, oh, we are being marginalized, we are doing this, Biafra, all those. We know that's part of it. It's part of the narrative. We saw that played out in 1992 after MKO the election was annulled. Our Nadeko will almost become a Yoruba-dominated political group. And some Yoruba were even talking about secession within Yoruba space. They had the Radio Kudirat. If I don't know, then if you listen to Radio Kudirat, when what's his name speaks, J. Pai now or all of them, when they speak on Radio Kudirat, most of the things they speak is more like, oh, okay. Now. I like to make reference to history when I want to make my submission. So we see how they were trying to. I mean, it was looking like Nigeria was going to disintegrate, because Abacha was ruling with tyranny, with Operation Sweep and those military people that he deployed outside that really silenced some of Yorubas. Some Yorubas already promoting. I mean, we've been hearing of even the Oduduwa nation as they also was spreading like wildfire then in Lagos. We knew all of that because of their own son. The person of Abiola was denied the presidency. And suddenly now the Igbo people are doing almost playing the same script, and now we're finding fault with that. How does that even sound logical to some of us? I don't get it. So the point is this: when you are pointing finger at other people, look at yourself. So let's not make this thing as like, oh, it's only Igbos that are guilty of. If they're now deciding to, wow, we want to vote for our own person, you are surprised of the 100% vote that their candidate got in their own space. It's because they feel it's their turn. They should be made president. Because not as have it, South as have it, Yoruba, Southwest as have it, it is now their turn. Are they justified? Yes, because they're part of the country called Nigeria. So why are we not finding fault with them? Because suddenly they're supporting their own champion. And every day we come online like this, we come on platform like this, we want to browbeat people, these people want to find fault with them. When we are equally guilty, the Hausa Fulani are guilty of that. Yoruba people are guilty of that. And then we're coming here and we're finding fault with these people. Come on. I don't get it. And all because of this Tinubu's ambition. We knew how they do their politics. They want to break us on the line of ethnicity, so make Tinubu look like he's a messiah of the Yoruba people. No, he's not my messiah. So my point is this: let us go away from this. Everything we have to see everything from a prism of ethnicity. I know that's how Nigeria is structured. That's how it's going to be forevermore, as long as that country exists. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you are pointing finger at other people, look at yourself. That's what I'm going to say. And I don't know why the Lobby Lawrence is always tenumoro. We don't go promote where sorrow. Bring excerpt from your book. Talk about it. Rather than having to like go off tangent and start talking about it was bad way, it was this it's an ethnic bigot, that is sort of by. I mean, and some of the things he said were just not factually true. He just spin the narrative, saying that before there was the election, everybody went to that election thinking that they will win. If anybody was standing against the ambition of Tinubu, it would be his party. There were rumors, even what's his name, FFK was one of those people that started spewing those propaganda during the election period. Oh, we've covered. There was an attempt to install an interim government. It was FFK who were in power. Who can install an interim government? One other person than Bubu. And who is Bubu? It's an APC man. They do the CBN money policy so that they will not be able to get, Tinubu will not be able to win that election, so that they will stifle him of money to buy people's vote. Who did that? APC. The last time I checked, PDP, Labour were never in power. They don't even have the federal might under their control. So, what are we talking about? What is the Nobel laureate talking about? I don't know if this man needs to go and sit down and let me not say, because when I say it now, some people say I'm insulting him. You need to go and sit down and do some self-introspection. Because some of the things he's saying, I don't even know where he's getting them from. Who are the people against Tinubu? It's his own party. It looks like Aso Rock already have their own candidates. They almost scheming it out. Who are the people? It's not Labour. It's not an Igbo man. It's a Fulani man in the person of his own party person that was there. And after the election, if I feel cheated, I'm at liberty to talk about it. You scheme me out in this election. I believe I won. If I'm invited to come and speak about it on television, I will speak the way I see it. You not stifle my voice. I feel I won this election. Tinubu should not be sworn in, because from the result I have, I believe I won it. And the current president should not swear him in, or should not be allowed to swear him in. It's my opinion. I don't know when Soyinka, who I once look at as a liberal person, who believes that people are free thinkers. Now, who really now is this fascist now? This same man who put a gun to a man's head in a radio station years ago. Who is the fascist? So because some people now are clamoring that, oh, no, we want total change. We want Obi. Also, like I'm not saying everybody. Some people say they want Obi. So suddenly now they become, and they are adamant about it, and they are boisterous about it. They want to sell that idea. They are very, very militant about it. They are very, very zealous about it. And then you're tagging them as, oh, they are fascists. Oh God, I don't know. But man, he needs to go and sit down and do his academics and go and read what a fascist is. And now, who are the fascists now? Go on many media space now. You will see the Tinubu people now hounding everybody that speaks against Tinubu on this platform. If one man is to go live now, you see many people that will come here. They'll be labeling me as all because of who? All because of Tinubu, who is a Yoruba. What should be me? Yoruba anthem says, "Ba should be Eru, Bella should be Omo." Even though I'm an Eru, what should be me? Even though he's an Eru, what should be me, not should be Omo. There's nothing that makes him superior to me. Let's forget that. Say he has had his mark in the politics, in the dirty politics of Nigeria. But my point is this: is that all I'm saying here is that when you allow ourselves to be used by this criminal politicians to come on platforms like this to start spreading some narrative of, oh, they like their own person more than the other people. No, I believe that yes, the Igbos can be very tribal. Yeah, I know. But at this point in time in that issue of that country, if they are tribal at this level as which they have right now, it's because of the narrative that has been on ground, that it's their turn and they were deprived of it. And so if they have close to 100%, 90% voting for their own person, it's because of what is on ground. So let's not probably have to Tinubu to also play the same politics. So what are we talking about? Everybody's guilty of it. So why is the Nobel laureate just sounding like as if just against these people from this tribe? I don't know, one man. I mean, I used to be there, one man. I don't know if I'm just ranting here. One man, it's up to you. I mean, are you there, one man?
I am here.
One man.
I was waiting for that conversation to take place so I can take you to the last topic.
One man's lost.
One minute.
One man is gone. Are you there?
I'm here now.
Bishop?
Can you not hear me? That's not mine.
Yeah, I can tell you, but you're about to a little bit.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. We can hear you now.
All right. Yes, I was saying I was just waiting for that conversation to come to an end so I can take you to the last topic. So no more than 10 minutes each on this one because we're really pushed for time. We're not really pushed for time, but I don't want it to be a long. But this one, I'm not sure if we can even contain it within 10 minutes. Nigeria police rated worst in the world. So that may come as a surprise to some people, but it certainly will not come as a surprise to a lot of people. Nigeria police rated worst in the world. So who's done the rating? Nigeria Police Force NPF is the worst in the world, according to the 2016 World Internal Security and Police Index. The WISPI was produced by two bodies, the International Police Science Association and the Institute for Economic and Peace. The report measured the ability of the police to address internal security issues. The police in 127 countries were assessed across 4 key areas. The areas are capacity, process, legitimacy, and outcome. The report showed that Nigeria underperformed on all 4 domains with a score of 0.255. There are 216 police officers for every 100,000 Nigerians, well below both the index medium of 300 and the sub-Sahara Africa region average of 268, the report read. This limits the capacity of the force. To measure up to its law and order mandate. In terms of process, legitimacy, and outcomes, the story is not different, which makes the force fall short of the required standard. High levels of political terror have been an issue in Nigeria since 1993, with the country scoring a 4 on the political terror scale every year since then. So it says 10 worst performing African countries in 2016. Nigeria, the absolute worst, with a 0.26 score, Congo 0.27, Kenya 0.3, Uganda, etc., etc. So Nigeria worst in the world, according to the international index measure. So yeah, you come in first, Rational Mind, and then you round it up. I think we lost Bishop. So Rational Mind, speak a little bit to that space, and then we wrap it up.
Well, we're not surprised, woman. Anybody that has followed Nigeria security issues over the years, especially ever since 1999, you understand that. I mean, even from time immemorial, ever since that country has ever existed, maybe even from the amalgamation. But let's just talk about contemporary times. By contemporary times, I mean since from 1960, when there's been always documentation of the Nigerian police, the colonial era. Will not. I don't think I will know. We can factor that in this matter. But when Nigeria actually became independent of its own, where they have a so-called Nigerian who was born within the Nigerian space, being a leader of that country ever since then till now, we can see that the scorecard of Nigerian police has over years as you just get from bad to worse. And if there's any other adjective to qualify it right now, I don't know, maybe worse than, if there's any word like worse, maybe worse, yeah. So it's worse than whatever it has ever been in the history of that country. And it keeps getting, I mean, the decline is just so, and you just wonder, what is going on? I'm not too positive, woman. I know if I were to come from a religious angle, I can understand what is going on, but let's just leave that. But my point is this, is that I'm not surprised. I'll be surprised they are the worst performing, if not the worst performing in Africa, like I said. I mean, and then only followed by visit Kenya, where we had Mazi Nnamdi Kanu extradited without following due process. I'm not surprised, because if these people are almost like their counterpart in Nigeria, they must have, colluded and the same lawlessness that we saw with the extradition of that man without following due process. If he is a criminal, why don't you go through the court rather than just kidnap him? What was that word they used when they said they kidnapped him? What was that word? Woman, can you remind me of that word they used?
Rendition.
Yeah, they rendition him. So my point is this, woman. I'm not surprised. I just told you an hour ago at the beginning of this conversation. Everything about this police force is just a show. They are not there to. I mean, look at a police of a state should be the protection of the people. But you see them attached to the MC Oluwayo there, that guy, his son, one of his sons, has a police attached to him. Oh my goodness. How do we, I say we're not ready to run a country. We're not running it. We're running some kind of like a banana enterprise, banana republic enterprise. That's what we're running in that country. How can you have a private citizen having a police of a state that has the taxpayers' money being sent to go and guide them? This is just a non-entity in that country. A son of a Jaguda, of a Layebo, a guy that is being used, a political urchin that is being used by the same guy that is in Asurok. And then his own son. That's just by the way. We have even celebrities having police attached to them. Is who can pay the IS? Go and meet a DPO, give him money. He will send one. Oh my! You see, how can we run a state? And we say we want to run a country. And some of us will come here, we want to make case for them. Rome was not built in a day. How many years have they been doing this? Since 1960, I'm sure. They must have been having this kind of policy of, oh, go and guide Madame, go and guide the Peking of Madame. I mean, like maybe political people. I'm not saying maybe president. We understand the president, the vice president. You should have a security detail with them. But we're not talking about ordinary man, a senator, or House of Rep, their wives, their kids, or maybe like some billionaires. If you need security details, you see, woman, I've said it on your platform here. It's like it's time these people, if Tinubu really wants to do well, I don't know if he has the political will. If he wants to do well, bring in experts, sit them down, let them do a total overhaul of the system. Maybe might not be able to do it once. Do the critical ones that could set what's that word I'm trying to use? That could be the trailblazer for what is to come after it. How can you have police guiding ordinary citizens? When you have security outfits, you can create a job. You can even create 1 million jobs from that. I've said it in previous my submission on this platform, another platform, that you can create a job, you can create an employment from that. Withdraw all the security details, empower private security outfits, license them, let them train their personnel to have certain kind of weaponry with them. If it's a pistol, a gun, an AR-14, whatever it is, let them get trained, let them go through mental evaluation, let them guide these people. They will be paying their security outfit money. That is job for the boys. Like Tinubu will use the word, that's job of the boys, Abi. I mean, yeah, that's a job for the boys. You can create at least nothing less than 250,000 personnel from security just to guide these people. We'll not be using the state money for taxpayers' money to be guiding individuals, private individuals. If you as a senator, if you need security details, go and meet so and so. In fact, they will go and advertise it to them. Even some of these old retired generals, or they could create their own kind of security outfit from there. License them. They will make money. It will not be on the taxpayer to be paying for their remuneration and paying for their security. You can, at least they too, they will understand how it is to pay for security. They will know that it's important for them to take care of the people too. Because if people is taken care of, there will be lesser crime. But they will never think like that. They will never think. They just want to maintain status quo. So are we surprised when we get this kind of rating, this ranking, that they are the worst in Africa, perhaps? They're not the worst in the world. Very corrupt. And Tinubu came in there because his former detail, whatever, he had to put in a no, put people who have the pedigree, whom you, why I expect them to. You see, when I say I don't believe people like this, you see, somebody says, be objective, be objective. I just gave you an example now. I didn't just criticize them, but I gave you a way of going about it. And I've always championed this. When you say, oh, employ 50 million, no, you don't need to employ 50 million people. Withdraw this security, Nigerian police, from these people. We withdraw them. Taxpayers are the one funding them. Let them go and do their duty. Stay in the police station. Attend to calls when people say, oh, distress calls from anywhere. Oh, we are being attacked. Send them. Equip them. If private individuals, Wala Denuga, Dangote, whatever, if they need security details, go to any of these licensed security agencies. They will give you personnel that have guns, they have body armor, whatever it is, to protect you. You can create more. You can create wealth from there. You can create employment from there. They will be paying from their pocket because they know how it is to secure themselves and when the police also are working to protect the other ordinary people that cannot go and afford to go and get security details. I mean, this is how to build a country. I'm not just being, I hope I'm being objective here when I'm saying this now. I know somebody will say I'm not being objective. I'm giving you another way of solving this problem. Our police need to be withdrawn, train them, let them go to some real mental evaluation, not the crap that they do. What they call it? What was that word they used to use? Say they rehabilitating terrorists. Kinetic, I don't know the crap they're talking about. Let them go through, bring in professionals, bring in experts. Let them go through some real deep. If you have to weed out the unfitted among them, weed them out. Keep them up. Even their dressing in public is enough to instill fear. Their professionalism. We saw how it's done here in the West. Their professionalism, the way they approach you, even the way they kit up. You see them having some kind of earpiece in them where they have body camera. That alone itself is enough to deter crime. Because when you know that you are being recorded, you know those, because you don't know who is close to you, who is recording you. It will deter. Even the way they are suited up alone is enough to even deter some people from you. You don't need to have. It's not just about quantity. It's about quality in this instance. Let it be quality policemen. If actually they're supposed to be 500, but you're able to raise to 250 for the meantime, let it be that way. But let it be the quality among the 500. Send up the 250. The 250 can be employed by any security outfits that needs their services because of their experience to go and guide all these millionaires, billionaires, and their sons. That is job for them. The 250 people, keep them up. Let them have normal gun like normal policemen. Not just all this shakabula or whatever they carry every day, those archaic kind of. Let them have. I don't need to be saying this. So my point is this: I'm criticizing it, and I'm telling them how to go about it. This ridicule of our police being the worst in it, we have what it takes. You know, for the corruption within the police, because the money that is voted for them, we see when the other policeman was there, the IGP, how he was collecting contract for himself, making contract for his wife and his police, so that they can be feeding. And look at the kind of food they feed these people when they go to their so-called police college or whatever the crap they call it. I mean, how do you expect people like that? And if you look at some of these guys that are sent out to go and become police, they look so hungry looking. They look unfed. They look unkempt. I mean, when you even see this kind of people, can you even respect that kind of people as a police? And look at some of them, you see their buttocks. They only have one clothes. You see, it is the image here. It's the image. When you have a police force, maybe not call it a police force. We're using this colonial force, this police agency, if we have them, whereby they are suited, I mean, they are well kitted up. Even their body armor alone is enough to instill fear in people.
They've changed their name, by the way, now.
I know they change, but they keep using the MPF.
Yeah, police service now, yeah.
Well, so but people still use the word police force, whatever it is. I mean, I still see MPF on some of them, on their badge, on their shoulder badge, whatever they call it. I don't know, maybe I'm looking at the old pictures, but the ones I've seen is MPF. Well, let's just leave it aside. My point is that if Tinubu is really serious about turning around our country, this is focus that is focusing on economy. Social re-engineering has to come into play. Bring in experts. All this your Wale Edun, that they're all cronies. They're all like just orcs of. I mean, some kind of corporate orcs that wants to like make money for themselves and from their crony. If Tinubu is really, really, really serious about transforming that country, do not focus only on just what's it called on economics. Focus on social as well. Bring the people to the point whereby they understand their right as citizens. Bring the police to the point whereby they understand that this is my limit. Have them trained. This, I mean, like listen to his comment at Imo State. What did he say? He said, "We will supply them." One man, I wanted to say something about one thing I read up in the Nation. There was one article in the Nation many days ago where somebody was using Tinubu. They said the presidency is helping them to supply, is it Abu Dhabi? It's in the Nation. One man Google it. They were using Tinubu that they'll be supplying Abu Dhabi about 17,000 artisans. Oh my! Am I surprised when former President Obasanjo walked out on this guy when he was repeating the same thing many days after? Talking about
Yeah, but sometimes you have to sieve through some of the. Sometimes the story should sound even so ridiculous to you that you know that even somebody as critical of Tinubu as you are, sometimes you just have to just.
Why should I just? Well, man, I cannot. There's certain things.
What's the relationship between Nigeria and Abu Dhabi, and why would Tinubu be supplying them with artisans of all things?
Thank you very much. You said it now. You asked the question. Hold on now, one man. Hold on, no.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's
no,
just
there is a reason. There is a reason. You see, one man. You see, when I say something here on this platform, I draw a parallel. I just said in the Nation, which I think Tinubu owned that Nation newspaper. Go and look at it. There's just type in 17,000 artisans. The Nation. Look at it. He said it many days. I mean, it was written in the articles from many days ago, and then like 5 or maybe like a week after, Tinubu made that comment in Imo State that they say we're having brain drain. Forget it. If they even want, we'll be supplying them our education. Man, my goodness. How can a patriot, it's just like America telling China and Russia that we will send all our tech guys to you. We'll just move them to you. Don't worry, we're supplying you. No, America knows the value of their tech because they need them for their military-industrial complex. That's why America has that edge above other countries. Imagine them saying that we will push out our tech people to, because you are giving your secrets out to these rivals. They will also become developed, like they will have a kind of sophistication in weaponry than like what we have here. So why would you? Don't we need our artisans in Nigeria? But all your focus is on that, so that you can be billing them, you can be collecting taxes from them. You see, these guys, it's all about money for them. It's not about you and I, our people, the wealth of our people. It's about what can they make. They want to increase IGR. Want to increase IGR. How do you even increase IGR when you don't even have the skilled laborers that will bring about that kind of IGR? And then you want to ship some of them abroad to come and be giving their people so that they can develop their own economy. Your own economy is our own people does not need our artisans to develop them, to teach them that trade so that they too can replicate the same thing. You see, when I speak the way I speak about these criminals, that has nothing to offer us. And I call them criminals and I call them imposters. Like when I come here, I say it. You say, some people will say, why do you just hate these people? No, I don't hate them. I hate their policy. I just said it now. The policy, what they stand for. You want to send our artisans outside. That's what, I didn't say that. Tinubu said that. Go and look at the video. And I'm sure that was one of the reasons why Obasanjo walked out on him. How can a president of a country be making that kind of a comment? Are you not a patriot? What does it mean to be a patriotic person? Everything about you is about, you think first Nigeria. You think first about your country. That's a patriot. No, but this guy think about economic benefit that will accrue to him. And maybe whoever will be in his government that will be getting from that. So that they will say, Tinubu increase the IGR in the history of that country from 10 billion to like 100 billion. And at the end of the day, that 10 billion, more than half of it will go into their private pockets. And even the remaining $50 billion that will be remaining, you will not see anything to show for it. And you're telling me to speak with peace with this kind of people. Well, man, I don't think we're ready to go to move forward in that country. Well, our police, I've given my own submission. If the police IG is listening or our policymakers, they should think about that. Withdraw all these our police people from all these security details to politicians that are not of anything below Senate, maybe Senate President or the what's it called, the House Speaker. Withdraw them. So only those people. But there are any other people, let them go and get security or private security details. They will create employment for people like that. One man, I leave it at that.
All right, brilliant, excellent. So, Bishop, you were not here for the readout, but just off the back of the headline, Nigeria police rated worst in the world, and this is by an international space.
I had the readout.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay. So, give us your commentaries, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, let me just quickly say, I had the readout, and I listened to that. Let me start by saying, if we say our police are the worst in the world, our soldiers are the worst globally, our politicians are the worst, let's go conclude that Nigerians are the worst species of human beings that got created on earth. That's a fair summary of the whole thing. If we say everything about Nigeria, oh, our politicians are the worst, our policemen are the worst, oh, our soldiers are the worst, oh, our senators are the worst. You can as well say Nigerians are the worst species of human beings. Now, let's go back to the issue of the police. If people that are running NGOs, the same people that came up with Nigeria as the worst place to live on earth, second worst place, the same people that say Nigeria are the poverty capital of the world, because the people that put this report together are mainly those CSOs and NGOs, and they come with them. There's nothing you can ask them to bring that way, because they are just doing the bidding of certain papers that somewhere that they will get grants from. So they will keep churning out these reports because there are people that will celebrate it. They won't question it. They won't put facts to question how did you arrive at this compared to some other countries that we know their state. But because they want to run with the wrong narrative about Nigeria, every time a news like that comes, which originates from them, oh, they fly with it, they run with it. Now, there is a part of the police they call SPU, Special Protection Unit. That part of police was specifically set up for people that can afford them. Let me add, I live in Georgia, in the county they call Gwinnett. If I did a police, which we have done a couple of times and we have program, we can hire a police for the whole day. The minimum you will get, you can hire a police for is 10 hours. And at the last time we used them, it was $75 per hour. Because they use it to raise money. Even in America, you can go and hire police. And that was exactly the concept of SPU. Those ones that wear blue berets. They are not regular police. They are police for VIP to be hired. So you pay the police force a certain amount, then you pay those people some stipends also. And they can attach them to you for weeks, for months, if you can afford them. We are under-policed as it is now. Can we adjust? Oh, yes, we should be able to adjust and recruit more. But funding is a major problem. So, I will always say, we can improve on what we have. But I will not share that sentiment of blanketing that our police are the worst in the world. I want to say the facts. I want to know those that in Nigeria that submitted those reports. I can guess people that are in that area, in that field. There are NGOs, a few of them. We know them. We know them. We know them. We know that is where they get their grants from all these, whether it's John Hopkins, whether it's Ford Foundation, whether it's this. And they write damning reports about Nigeria. They write damning reports about everything in Nigeria so that they can please their papers as to give them more grants. Now, on the issue of Tinubu saying if people want to go, Nigeria is not a prison. A few months ago, one man, are you still hearing me? Hello?
Wait, listening.
Okay. A few months ago, we had this debate on this platform. And I keep saying, and I challenge anybody to the contrary, Nigerians in the past few years are not the most traveled people out of their country.
Bishop, I think you lost connection. Are you still there? Can you still hear me? Rational Mind.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think let's give Bishop a moment.
Okay. Yeah, but before he comes back. So for me, you see.
He dropped. Okay, carry on. Yeah.
Oh, it dropped. All right. So, well, maybe in conclusion, I don't know. So anyway, yeah, or maybe when it comes back. So, you see, I wanted to like interject Bishop. I just want him to just have his flow because I know he didn't interrupt me when I was talking, and I appreciate that. You see, when he was talking about, you see, you see again, I like to say this to you see, when I say the Agado people, and when I say Agado people, or Bishop, when you come back, maybe you're hearing me. It's a word of endearment for me to you. I say when I say idiot, batty
I
idiot.
don't think he'll be able to hear you. You know, it's
Well,
a bathroom.
maybe
Yeah.
try to come back. Maybe for hearing on YouTube. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's not on
Maybe when
YouTube.
I post it. Yeah. Okay.
So my point is this: is that when I say agbado, 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 I'm saying that it's a word of endearment. Like just these are agbado people. But when I say idiot, whatever, that's when I'm becoming insulted. Perhaps. So let's just get that clear. So the agbado people, when they say, "Oh, in America here," I mean, like, when is convenient for you guys, you would draw a parallel with Nigeria and America in some shenanigans. But when it's not, then you say, no, you cannot say that. America is far away. I mean, like, come on, women. I don't know what part of America. Let me not say I've traveled all the 50 states of America, 50 states of America, the territories. I'm not saying I've traveled, but I've been to several states and I've lived in several states. But as far as I can tell you, I don't know of where they say you can borrow police, you can pay them. I'm yet to see that. I'm yet to see that. So people have been saying that on this platform. I don't even know what they're talking about. That you can go and hire police and pay them. What I'm saying is that if you are going to have an event, like, for example, in my area here, at least the last time, I don't know, I did, maybe I was trying to show you guys when we were talking live here. I showed you the Christmas procession party they had here. There were cops everywhere here. This is a community thing, and I'm sure the community they would have paid the police, the sheriff, because the sheriff knows that it's their duty to protect, make sure that there is no security breach in any way, and people are safe. They are everywhere. You can see their patrol cars everywhere. I'm sure the organizer of that, I know this is the community where I live here, they did that. They would have paid the police. And I know that, one thing I know, of course, but I'm not privy to that, is that when some religious body here, they need protection, they will go talk to the deputy, the sheriff, and the sheriff will give them, maybe they feel like, we are Muslim or we are Jewish, and we believe that there is an attempt to, they will come and protect them without even asking for money. But I don't know where some people live in America when they say this kind of things. I mean, I think Bishop is the second or third person I'm hearing this people, that you can go and pay the sheriff, you can go to the sheriff office and you pay them for them to come and secure you. And I've never seen where an individual, except maybe you are being given protection over maybe some things, that you have a police attached to you and you're paying the police department money so that they can provide security detail. I mean, I don't just know where some people. I mean, I didn't even work in security. I mean, in any law enforcement here in America that they're even coming to that conclusion that you can pay police department to give you. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but not at the level of what they are painting it to. The way it's painting it here now, saying that I can go and meet a police department and say, you see, because I'm a rich person. No, Elon Musk. I don't know if you've seen some bodyguards. These are private security outfits that he's using. In fact, even the city here, some of the biggest cities around my area here, some government buildings, they are being protected by private security outfits. Even patrolling because in one of the cities here, they had shortage of police recently. A lot of the police, that police, they retired. The city has to continue, has to now start paying a private security to be patrolling. You will see them, they have their own SUV. You think that maybe the way they even design it, you think maybe they are police. No, they're just private. They can make arrests. If they see it, they can make arrests, and they will call the real police to come and arrest them and pick up. They can subdue the person. So my point is this: I don't know when people use this narrative of you can. I've never seen where a police is attached to somebody permanently, and you are paying that police department. When taxpayer is paying that person to come and be protecting the lives of the individuals here in the community. this Agbado kind of narrative sometimes. So I just don't know where some people are getting all this kind of information. You live there in the UK. I don't know whether you do that in the UK. But as far as I know, in the UK, the police in the UK, they are public servants. They're there to serve. If there's any event or whatsoever, they will go there and protect the people there. It's their duty to do that. So this narrative of, oh, you can pay police here and they'll be attached to you permanently, my goodness, I've never seen that. That is why many states here in America, you have private security outfits. You get them, they will protect you. They are licensed to carry gun, to carry some kind of weaponry that even police, they have tasers, they have pepper spray or whatever. They have it with them. They will be dressed like the complete police, like a cop. So when you say this kind of things, it's like you're justifying what the shenanigans is going on in that country. That taxpayers' money that is used in employing some people, sending them to college, getting them trained, can now be outsourced. Oh my goodness. Woman, I said it. Some of us that come here on platforms like this and make case for these criminals and the criminal enterprise they run in that country, posterity will judge all of us someday. Our people, our great-great-grandchildren, when they come, our grandchildren, when they come and they see all these things, they hear all these things that we're talking about, I'm sure some of them will be laughing at us, and maybe they'll be like spitting at some of our great, don't get me wrong, not disrespect anybody. They'll be spitting at some of us. It could be me, if I'm wrong. They'll be spitting on my grave, or whoever is saying the wrong thing. So for me, Bishop, I'm yet to see that police department here in the United States as somebody who is working, I would say, in the law enforcement, or who has worked in the law enforcement. I'm yet to see that, whereby you say police is being outsourced to private individuals and they are being paid, and they will be there consistently, permanently, like we see in Nigeria. I don't know of that. I don't know how you create wealth for the state like that, because these are publicly funded institutions, taxpayers' money, and so they are there to protect the people, not private individual. If you need protection, there are security outfits that even have the weaponry that they have. Some police department does not even have it. They have men, they are kit up. They have the paraphernalia. They have all the weaponry. In fact, they will be dressed, as if they are allowed to do that. They'll be dressed like police. So I don't know what you're talking about. Give me an example where you find out. What state is that is being done that you can hire a police on a permanent basis and you can pay him? Tell me, Bishop.
All right, Bishop, address what Rashina might put to you, and then give us your submission, and then we'll shut it down. So bring it
I
home for us.
I was struggling to hear the question. I had some parts of his presentation, of his something. If you can just make that, I'm sure that if you can make that question straight and short, please.
I think okay, let me repeat myself. I said, what state have you seen that the police department personnel are outsourced to go and defend an individual? To go and protect an individual, and it's permanently with that individual, and that individual is paying them, police department. Where in this country is that done?
Okay, if I had you, that what state do you think that police are outsourced, right?
Yeah.
See, the truth of the matter is this, and that is me. That is me. Let me say it otherwise. I have issues with our police. I have serious issues with our police. I still believe also that they are a product of our society. Because training is not thorough, funding is poor, morale, motivation is not there, the equipment is lacking. Now, I don't want to go to police. Maybe if any of my siblings want to go to police, I will object to it. Any other person wants to go, we say no, don't go. And we end up with criminals, ill-trained, ill-motivated. And it is what the society has donated. And that is what we have. So, don't look at me from the point of view that I say I don't have a problem with our police. I have a problem with our police. I have a problem with a lot of what the society has done to. Our students have problems. Drug, gambling, fraud, everything is an issue of the society. So if we pick police, do Orito for exam. Primary school students that want to go and write common entrance. Parents are buying expo for them. The secondary school, 5 miracle centers are full everywhere. University, it is sorting. How do we expect people that get out of this system to now turn around to be wonderful, patriotic, diligent, truthful citizens, whether they are in the hospital as doctors, whether they are in the police, whether they are in the armed forces, whether they are lecturers. The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? That's why I don't pick and choose. I believe that we have a lot of problems to deal with. Every percent of the society is an issue we have to deal with. Can we deal with them completely one day? No. We take them piecemeal and see what can, which part can we turn around. So the police problem is a reflection of the society. And that's why I say, let us be very holistic by saying, if our soldiers are bad, our lecturers are bad, our nurses are bad, our policemen are bad, then let's go conclude that our Nigerians are bad. So, it's not about outsourcing. And it's not about being the pick and choose. It's about being truthful enough to admit that something is fundamentally wrong. And we need to fix it. How? Your guess is as good as mine. If you are still hearing me, rational man. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's it's a systemic thing.
Yeah, you've been eating for 2 hours solid now, rational
No,
man.
I don't believe in our man. Just like Papa. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So you see, I was expecting you to give me, but no, I'm not going to contest that with you anymore because apparently maybe you don't. I don't know whether there's any substance to that.
Yeah. Maybe I did not hear that part of the question.
I said where here in the US that police departments are paid to go and secure people, and they're permanently with that person. They're permanently with that person, and they pay.
No. I don't. That was not what I said, though.
Okay.
We police America. I don't think they use that. We have gone twice. We did something in the past, and they said we needed police and a minimum of 2 in their cars, and we had to pay. Then we did one program in church one day that one of our leaders came, and they said we needed police, and we had to pay for 2. I mean, I was in the middle of it, so we paid $75, and they said the minimum is 10 hours. They just sit in their car, put their lights on, so we paid for them, and the city is using them to make money. When you are doing construction, when they are doing construction, the contractor will go and hire police for traffic and just sit there in the car. And
what is this? You don't mind me asking. What state?
Georgia, Gwinnett County in Georgia.
All right.
I live in the city of Lawrenceville. You can check it online. Go, city of Lawrenceville, Gwinnett, Georgia.
City of what?
Lawrenceville.
Lawrence, as in Lawrence, right?
Lawrence, yes, Lawrenceville. If I can look for the email. Yes, Lawrenceville. Yes. Okay. In Georgia, Gwinnett County, Georgia. If I can check I think I have one of the correspondences where we were making our request. You can hire police. And they use it to make money. A lot of money. To run the city police. I'm not talking of federal.
But I think the way you make it sound, sorry, let me suggest you. I know one man wants to go. Okay, wants to shut down. You see, you make it sound like these people are attached to individuals to serve them for a long time, like we do in Nigeria, where MC Oluomo has his own son with the police detail.
I did not make it sound like that. No. Maybe that was what you read.
I mean, that's people like myself will get
I gave two scenarios. Hold on, please. I gave two scenarios. I said the SPU in Nigeria was set up. When I was in Nigeria, I had two. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. I had two, but I was working in the construction office because I was working in the creeks. I had two, an inspector and the sergeant. That
Bishop, is
yes.
that how to run a system?
That's what I'm saying. That particular department, SPU, with equivalent, was created for that purpose. They call it GIT Protection Unit. They created it for that purpose. They did not create it for general policing.
All right, gentlemen, I'm looking to start to wrap it up soon. So,
yeah, one man. Let's just leave it at that because I still have a lot of reservation on that. I mean, I'm not saying you, Bishop, but that method of policing, our police should not be a business. You see, when I said Nigeria is a business enterprise, it's not a nation, it's not a country. They just set that thing just for our people there are just guinea pigs. They're all guinea pigs.
National, sorry, just 1 second. One man, just last sentence. Do you know there are 18,000 police departments in America?
Okay.
From state police to county police to city police to college police to community police, 18,000. And all of them do different things to fund them. 18, not 1,800. Not 180, 18,000 police units in America. In some states, we have more than that. In my country, we have every city has police. I mean, I know you know how city plenty. Within my country alone, Benin County, in Georgia, there are 159 counties. 159. In Benin alone, there are more than 67 cities. 67. So if all the cities have their own police, universities, colleges, there's the college we have. We call it Georgia Benin College. Tech. Google it. They have their own police. Sports unit have their own police. I went somewhere.
That's not the argument. I know one wants to go with it, but I mean, Bishop, all what you just said, I agree with you. But the method of the policing in Nigeria, that's what we're talking about. That's why this ranking could come, because if our police, who are funded by taxpayers, they are there to protect the people, not individuals. Well, of course, these people are also individuals, but I'm saying not at the level of the way you are making it look like. That's why I'm saying the way you are saying it. The impression people like myself is getting is that there's nothing wrong in what they are doing. If they turn into an enterprise, no, it's not an enterprise. It's for the public service. I'm not saying they could not make money like Kumuyi or whatever, or any of them say they need a police protection to protect their congregants, and they build them. I'm not against that, but on a permanent basis, whereby you have people like MC Oluero and all those kind of people, they have their own children. That is what my problem is. Because hold on. We are saying, don't you know? We are saying that our country is under police, and we have our police people who are being paid from the taxpayers' money going to protect individuals. Let's forget that. All that money that they are making from those police that they were outsourcing out, giving out to protect individuals. I mean, how much of that money is going to the federal treasury?
So we agree on one.
All right, gentlemen, I do have to shut it down. So I'll say that, and then our Bishop have the final word, and then I'll shut it down.
All right.
You say what you wanted to say,
Yeah,
Rational Mind. Then Bishop has the final
guys, thanks a lot, everybody. I think we've talked about certain things here, and like people say, I'm not objective. I'm trying to be objective. It's not about just criticism. I will criticize what I find I have to criticize, but I have to talk about not just problems, but also the solution. Now, my solution is this, so that our police will get a favorable rating, we draw them from individuals. Send them out to the police post or to the streets or the corners of our streets where they need to, and keep them up, give them the real police gear, the gear that they need, the weaponry that they need. That in itself is a deterrent to people when they see a policeman well kitted, well dressed, even with the hoist with the gun in his oyster, and we're having his baton and everything. Like a normal, go to Benin Republic here. See how they are terrorists, they call it CRS, how they are kitted up. You even just looking at those guys, you feel secure that these guys they know what they are doing, even the way they are dressed. That is, in fact, in fighting crime, it's not about just carrying. I mean, let me not go into that. So, one man for me is that we draw all this police from all these people, all this what do you call it, this important personality or whatever we call them. Let them send them to their police post. Let them guard the people. If these people individually need police protection, go and meet private um, security outfits. They can create employment that way to people. Some of our friends, some of our kids, our brothers, and other people that are jobless, they could be employed that way. They could also be kitted up, protect Dangote, protect Adenuga, because the same work that the police can do is what they can do because they're already licensed with those things to have those gear, those weaponry on them. That way we can create and then focus on our police to do community policing. And I mean, you see, woman, it's not rocket science, but these people are not ready to do it. They want to maintain status quo, completely subjecting the people to the horrors, the trauma that our people are going. And that is why we never move forward. Woman.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll be very short. Very, very, very. I agree. We are under police. For almost 200 million, as we are saying we have less than 315 now, or 320,000 policemen. We are grossly under police. But where is the funding? If we can get the funding and less states, they say they should start with community policing. Less than 5 states started it. The supernumerary that they are even doing. We saw the ones that those guys that were dismissed that day. Then they don't pay them for 3 months. The supernumerary. So it's a complex situation. If we can get our funding right and prioritize, cut off all your necessary wastages, maybe we can invest more. For starters, I think we need to have more than 1 million policemen for starters. Then we can now grow it from there on. Thank you very much, Roman.
All right, brilliant. Thank you. So thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Rational Mind. Thank you for turning up. It's been an engaging conversation. I only really intended 1 hour, but really the conversation could have gone on for an additional 3 more hours. We would have gone on endlessly, only really because of the quality of the people that have turned up. So thank you. And to the people that will be watching this, this is something we're experimenting with. We're inviting select panelists that you know to come and debate matters germane pertaining to Nigeria. So this is the second time that we're doing it, and it gets better every single time. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Very important. Like, share, and subscribe. So we'll leave it there, and we'll see you on the next one. And peace.